Hello. Welcome back to day 27 of the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge. Today is, and I know I say this so many times, but today is the best UI build that we've ever done on this channel. Today I'm super excited about this one because today we're building a complete productivity app, and this is going to be the whole shebang that you would go through as a freelancer, as someone who's just getting their career started. So we're going to be building a splash screen, a landing page, complete landing page, so many animated effects, super duper excited about that, and also a complete dashboard. And again, today we are going to be seeing so many angles of UI UX design that I am super duper excited to show you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at its very core. Today we're going to be looking at how to not use colors for a little while, how to just go with black and white and just go as hard as you can with your UI UX design skills, animation skills, prototyping skills. And also we're going to be taking a look at how to not have a color palette and yet make colors out of thin air work. So this is, I know, a lot of higher level stuff. And also today we're going to be looking at fonts that do not make sense, and we're going to get them to make sense. So today I'm not going to be using any of the average fonts that I use, other UI designers use. I'm not going to be using Outfit, Inter or Playfair Display either. Today I'm going to be using actually one, or maybe you could count it as two, very unconventional fonts. Someone who's a normal UI designer might say they aren't even fit to build complete UI designs, but I completely disagree. Today we're going to be pushing the boundaries, the lengths of everything that is possible as a UI designer. Today we're going to be tackling colors, tackling fonts, building the best UI design you've ever seen. Say hi in the chat, everybody, because super duper exciting day, super duper exciting design, and today is just going to be so much animation, so much cool stuff you've never seen, stuff that is perfect if you're thinking about getting a freelance career going, thinking about just getting your portfolio started. The most complete app ever, and you're going to be you are going to feel like a one-man team at the end of this. It's just going to be the best thing ever. Just say hi in the chat. And with that, let's just switch right over to, let me just make myself disappear, and let's just switch right over to what we're building today. This is Shubham says hi. Hello Shubham, welcome. This is Zentask. It's a productivity app which is a mock-up that we've just built up out of thin air, and it has such cool effects, you guys. So when you just start, you just click on it, it just comes in with this super cool splash screen effect, which I absolutely adore, and this image also comes in flying as well. And again, get ready to see the next thing because it's the best thing that ever happened on this channel. This is a sticky screen. This is a screen, but it is a sticky screen, and I'm so excited because it's so simple to build. This is a sticky screen, so you can basically scroll one side of the whole thing, but the other side remains sticky. And till now we're just doing the whole yin yang black and white theme, breaking the monotonous texts and stuff. And also there's going to be this really beautiful all black reveal at the end, from where you can click on explore to get started, and then you're just treated with this amazing looking dashboard. The fonts today, the colors today, the themes today, the stuff that we're going to be working with today is just a UI designer's dream. It's the best thing that ever happened to this channel, to you as a UI designer. Today is going to be super duper awesome, so just say hi in the chat and we can get started. This is super duper cool, super duper awesome, amazing stuff that we're building. I'm just going to quickly demo what we're doing again. So when you just click on it, it just gives you this wonderful splash screen. This next part is actually sticky, so it sticks on one end and the other part is completely scrollable. Super duper fun stuff, completely black reveal. This button has this amazing hover effect which we've been seeing in awards kind of sites for a little while, and at the end, yeah, there is this beautiful dashboard which I am such a humongous fan of. This is just the stuff to feast your eyes upon. Alright, let's just get started without any further ado. So, in the beginning, you need Figma. You're going to go to your browser, wherever it is, and you're just going to, hold on, let me just get myself on the screen, and now you're going to search for Figma downloads. Figma.com/downloads is the site which we go to get all of our downloads really quickly, really easily. Download your installer for macOS or Windows as whichever it is that you want. And also do not forget to join the Discord group, you guys, because this is the first comment, pinned comment in today's live chat and description as well. This is going to give you the ultimate folder for today's UI designs, all of the images that we're using, and some cool hacks are sprinkled in here as well, so you might want to stay for that. Just the most amazing UI design build ever. We'll just let these images load, and while that is done, we're going to get started with our UI design. We're starting from a point of view where you've already installed Figma. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on plus, and that's going to create a new design file for you. Let's just get started with that. Alright, so again, the very first thing you need to have is a screen, splash screen. So we're going to be starting with, and I'm just going to go back to where we started from. We're going to get started with our splash screen, which just does this wonderful effect. This splash screen in itself, we're just going to try to break things down as we go today. This splash screen is very simple. Black background, plain text. So we'll just tackle that for a moment. This is also plain text and our logo for today. Today's fonts, as I said, are super duper unconventional, and the frame that we're using has 1920 by 1080 pixels of width and height, because we're just giving it the full monitor feel that it's just the complete UI designer's dream, most fun thing ever in the whole world. I'm just going to make myself smaller again because, oops. Alright, I'm small now. And with that, we are ready with our very first frame. So of course, the first thing you need to do, the splash screen and the landing page are for today's UI are not going to use any color, and our dashboard is. This is quite opposite to what you usually see in all of your other productivity apps, where the landing page and splash screen have a ton of color and then the dashboard seems to get a little bit dull over time. So we're just flipping the script completely today, and one of the reasons why we're not using a lot of colors here is I wanted to go hard as I possibly could on the UI UX design concepts that are just so often ignored in the whole guise of colors and just getting the colors right. So the first thing we need to type is the name of our brand, Zentask. If you guys want all of these images, all of these assets for 100 complete days, do join the Discord group, link in the pinned comments, live chat. The font that we're using today is actually super duper fun. It's called Lacquer, Lacquer, and it has this whole weird fun vibe, at least when you're typing it in the small fonts. But if you start typing it in capital fonts, it gives you a weird serial killer vibe, which also I might utilize at some point. Maybe we'll do a Halloween episode or something where we'll go to the capital characters. So this is a funny font, because if you go lowercase, it gives you fonts that look like this, but if I just type the same thing in all caps, then it would just give you this weird serial killer bloody kind of vibe, or trickling paint, which is also quite messed up in my opinion. So we're ready with our logo. Very simple logo, nothing complicated to do at all. In fact, we're going to make it a little bit smaller, because who needs a big logo? Let's do a small logo. And the main focus anyways on the splash screen is to get the focus to your description of what the product is that you're using. So the description for this one is productivity. Oops, I think I came to capital letters again. Serial killer vibe. Do not do that. Product. Say hi in the chat while I'm trying to type complicated words, you guys. Just say hi in the chat, because this is one of the most amazing streams we've ever done on this channel. And now, pay attention closely, because this is one of the best tips anyone is ever going to give you in UI design. This font that I'm going to use is going to be our main font for all the text for all of this UI design, but most UI designers would advise you to not use it, and I'm going to tell you why. This font is just a very weird font. It does not have font thicknesses and stuff. It's called Coolen, and it's just one fat font that just sits there. It does not have any font thicknesses. It's actually quite difficult to use as a UI designer, and simply using this from a point of view of someone who knows how fonts work, this is just going to show that you know how to get your fonts to work. So this is, again, if you can design with this font, it's just a testament to the fact that you are an absolutely pro level of a UI designer. So this is going to be one of those things that just truly sets you apart. And if someone who is in UI design reviews your portfolio, reviews this project, you are going to blow their minds. I can guarantee that this UI design will blow anyone's minds, whoever sees it. Join the Discord group, get your images, copy this, use it on your portfolio. I have no problem with it whatsoever, and it's just going to skyrocket where your career is at. I can guarantee that. Again, we're just going to make this a little bit bigger, because we want the user's focus to be on this description that we have, and everything is just going to be center aligned. Do join the Discord group, you guys. All of the images, everything can be found there. If you are not joined to the Discord group, you are seriously missing out. So let's just place this right here and just align it in the center. And also we're going to get this aligned in the center. One of the main constraints with Coolin as a font is that the line height is not very good. So there's just a ton of line height space in the middle, and also there is no font thicknesses to go change. There is no variable font axes and font thicknesses whatsoever. So we just have to be very, very patient with this. Because this is complicated, and I know that. Like, just you have to go completely manual mode with the font line height and stuff. Again, say hi in the chat. Tell me where you're coming live from, and it's just going to be the best thing ever. This is going to be the best UI we've ever done. Alright, simple enough. You want to make sure, as a rule of thumb, the spacing between this and this and spacing between this and this is almost equal. Doesn't have to be completely equal. And you also sort of maybe just center line them together, or not. You know what, let's just center line them together until we see the red line. So there is going to be a red line as long as your text is center line, and that works perfectly. Let's just now, this is our first splash screen. And this is the before the splash animation happens effect. So now we are going to animate to the next effect, which happens when the splash screen animation actually completes. So this is now the next screen that we're animating for. Before we get into this at all, I want to download this image from our Discord group. So this is the folder which you find in our Discord group, 100 days of UI design assets for today. And this is the image that we're talking about, the first image. We're going to download this, and it's just going to finish downloading up really quickly. While that happens, let's just go back to Figma and start creating the rest of this design. So one of the main things that's happening here is every font, everything is just scaling in proportion, getting bigger in proportion, and also changing the colors, reversing the colors. So we're just going to duplicate this very simply, and just change the color back to black. Super simple stuff, super unique stuff that's just going to change your whole portfolio and just skyrocket where your skills are at. Let's just increase the font size to a noticeable degree. The main point is the degree of the splash effect has to be noticeable enough so that the user can sort of see. I hope I've sort of increased the size of my cursor today. Hope it helps. Let's just get these sorted in the middle. You can shift this up by a couple of pixels. That should also make your life pretty much easier. And also, don't mess with these text names, because if you do that, that's just going to mess up with the splash screen effect, and you'll have to basically rename this and this to be the same, this and this to be the same. So that's something to keep in mind. And now we're going to go and click on Ctrl-Shift-K. This is going to give us our downloads, and let's just, oops, where is my downloads? I don't think the image downloaded yet, so let's just do that over once again. Alright, while this image is down, does this keep on scanning for viruses? I mean, I appreciate that it does, but it just always is. Every single time I look at my Google Drive, it's just scanning for viruses. It's actually quite nice. Let's just center line these things, and it's quite important to center line these things, because that is how you're going to get this effect to work. And also, even if your image is on top of your text, which it will be, just make sure to right click and send it to back, or use the bigger bracket, and that's just going to send it to the back, and this just gives you the perfect effect. But if you animate this splash screen right now, this image is going to come in weirdly, appear out of nowhere, which is not the effect we're going for. In fact, our image comes in from the side. For an image to come in from the side, from a point it doesn't exist, it actually has to exist here, and then exist here, and then exist in the other screen, and then Figma can animate the both of them to make it work. So the way we're going to handle that is we're just going to copy this image, go to our first frame, and this is just for the splash screen's super cool smooth effect, and we're just going to get this out of our frame. So it doesn't matter if the white black is just weird and visible, it truly doesn't matter at this point. You're going to go to your x-axis and you're going to drag it out of the frame so that it stays in the technical boundary of the frame but is invisible on the screen. And once this is done, this is when stuff starts to get cool. I'm going to go to my prototype section, and let's just, oops, I think I just got sidetracked there for a moment. Now we're going to start with our flow. So we just make sure to have flow starting point set to flow 1 all the time. and then add an interaction of on click. You can add on drag or after delay as well. Let's just go with on click because we want to practically trigger it. On delay, you could do it after delay. That's actually very good for loading animations and stuff like that. If you change this to on delay, after delay, that's going to give you loading animation styles. So that's going to become a loading animation then. Alright, we're just going to click on navigate to very simple stuff. Destination has to be frame 2. Animation has to be smart animate, and the curve. This is the fun part, ladies and gentlemen. The curve has to be gentle with the duration of, let's do 800 milliseconds. You can change it. 800 milliseconds works. And now we're just going to click on frame 1. Let's just start prototyping this. And you know what? I'm just going to rename this build to, hold on a minute, while that is loading, because I don't think it's completed loading yet. Where do you know what, let that go completely. So this is the one that we've just made. Now when you click on it, check this out, you guys. Super cool stuff, super duper cool stuff. Like how quickly did that happen? We've started streaming like 15 minutes ago and we're already done with the splash screen. Just check this out. Super duper cool. Just the most awesome thing ever. Super duper fun stuff. I am such a big fan of how quickly this just came together. And now we are going to go to our next part, which is, in fact, you know what, let me just make this smaller as well. Oops, how do you make it smaller? How do I make it smaller? Let's do actual size. Oops, you know what, let's just let it stay the way it is. So basically now what I want to do is I want to make this frame, this side sticky, and then make this side extremely scrollable. So this is going to give it another cool layer of UI design expertise. And then this button is to die for. This button is absolutely to die for. We're going to get into that as well. Now you don't have to do anything with this screen anymore. This is your splash before effect, and you're just going to let that stay the way it is. The thing that we're going to work with now is our second frame, which is going to make sure it's bigger. So just without any worries whatsoever, just make it bigger, drag it, and now we're going to create an additional square, because that's all we need apparently. We're just going to create an additional square. Make sure it starts after like 1080 pixels, because you want the whole screen, splash screen, to still work and this to be visible only after you scroll down. So you're just going to make sure to click on your Alt key and check if this says 1080 at the top, and just adjust it with your arrow keys if you need to make sure this says 1080 at the top. And because our screen has to be divided in two parts, we are going to make sure that this rectangle is set to half of the width, which is 1920 divided by 2, which is 960. So we're just going to make sure that the width for this guy is 960. Where did the width go? This is our rectangle. Where is our width? This Figma new UI has got me confused, so confused. Width is 960. And also I'm going to make my height exactly equal to my splash screen height, because that gives it a weird sense of like uniformity. So we're just going to have to give this the height of 1080 pixels, because again this is 1080 and then this is 1080 and then hold on a minute, this is 1080. So these are just sort of aligning together when you make them sort of full screen. This is 1080, this is 1080, this is 1080, and then this is 1080 as well, and then this is 1080 as well. So this is just a 4 set of 1080. That actually won't work, Raj, because currently we're trying to do a sticky animation and it's just going to mess up in your face. So just don't like that. That's just not going to work. Let's just change this to black, and now we can get started with our sticky section. So what did we type in the sticky section? Welcome to Zentask. So we're just going to do that once again. Welcome to Zentask. And we're going to use the Coolen font for this part. We're just going to bring to front, and change this color to white. Of course, the reason I don't have any colors here is because I wanted to go as hard as possible on the UI design technicalities for this part. Welcome to, and then let's just make sure there's one space here, and let's just put this right here. You can make it smaller if you want to as well. Let's just duplicate this once again. And again, we learned this yesterday in the UI design React's 6 PM live stream, which was basically talking about having two very different fonts using the exact same font size, and then they just look like magic. So the second font that we're using today is only used for our logo, and it's called Lacquer, LACQUER. Welcome to Zentask. I just forget names super duper often. Like how easy it is to just forget names. I'm thinking of every single time we have a weekend, because just build this out over the weekend. These are just perfect portfolio projects if you're getting started as a freelancer. Every single weekend we're going to build like these extremely advanced, complete SaaS app, complete dashboard, complete UI builds. Would you guys just like that, just for us to just make the most perfect, most amazing long tutorial live streams every weekend? Just type yes in the chat really quickly. And now we're just going to reduce the font size by a whole lot, because you want there to be some sizable visible difference between this and this. This is description now, and this is just the beginning. Let's just reduce the font size. Manish says yes, absolutely, because every single day some people are not able to attend, but everyone's free over at the weekends, and even if you're not exactly free during this time, you have the whole Saturday, Sunday to just go through the thing and just build it out, add it to your portfolio, and that's just going to take your UI game as a freelancer to a completely different level. Like, this could work if you're looking for a job as well, but the way it just helps you be a one-man team, this project gives you the experience to be like a one-man team. It's just the perfect homework you need before becoming a freelancer. Add this to your portfolio. If you want these images, you can find them at the Discord group, link in the live chat pinned. Alright, so the first part that we're going to be building is, we need to make sure firstly that this is sticky. But for this to be sticky, it has to have certain other components compared to which it is sticky. So let's just build out those components first, and then we can get into the whole sticky thing. So let's just create a rectangle, same size. We're going to duplicate it to the other section and remove its color. Very simple stuff. And now we're going to go back and get for ourselves this web development empowered image. We're just going to download this super duper quickly. And as soon as this downloads, because right now you're just welcoming people, you don't want them to have a lot of very complicated text. This is the psychology behind what we're building today. Oops, it's still not completing my downloads. What is wrong with you today? We actually switched over to a different PC today because the last one had a couple of issues. Let's just get this stuff to download. Download. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just trying to press download 100 times over, and when it completes, finally it'll have like 100 different copies. Why are you not downloading? Get these from our Discord group. Finally, thank God we have downloaded our image. And now we're just going to place this right here. Oops, I think I just placed it in the whole frame. That's too big. We're just going to go right here. See, I downloaded it a bunch of times. Let's just place this right here, and this is going to be the absolute small size you need. And the reason we just put it to like 340 by 340 pixels is because it has to be sort of around the size of the text, not too big. Otherwise it's just going to create this crazy sensory overload for your user. And also you want it to sort of just stay in the center. So let's just perfectly aligned in the center. I love it. And now we are going to create one more frame, the one at the bottom, and then we're just going to make this sticky. Super duper close to making it sticky, you guys. Let's just copy and paste this, place this right here, and once that this is placed, I'm going to tackle another challenge. So we're just going to get this huge chunk of text and then try to break it down with this image. So this is again technical stuff, unique stuff, advanced stuff. I just want to just copy this text, so I'm just going to copy this text. Maybe you can type it out. I'm going to pause on the screen for just a moment. Zentask is a productivity app designed to bring balance, clarity, and focus to your daily tasks. I'm just copying this text because I'm plain old lazy. Don't be lazy like me. Let's just go right here, and I'm just going to paste here in match style. So this is just my basic font Coolen, which I used for this as well. This is why it's matching my style. And of course, we're just going to reduce this style by a little bit. Maybe bring it to like 96 because there's a ton of text here. Again, so many people watching us live today. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to say hi in the comments because that just really helps me share this to as many people as possible, and we can come here live every single day, build out something super duper cool. Again, one of the main challenges that I am currently facing with this text is so big. No one wants to read this. So to tackle that challenge, we're going to do two different things. Number one, we're going to add an image somewhere in this text, which if you've seen the beginning, you obviously know where it's going to be. But the point of view of a UI designer is you have to break it down some ways. So A, you could add an image, and B, you could break the monotony of this font. As I have said before, Coolen can be a boring font, so you have to take care of that always while working with this font. So which is going to go to focus. This is a word that could really stand out in my opinion. You could go to any word, clarity, balance, any of these keywords, tasks, anything that you'd want, and change coolant to lacquer, Lacquer, lacquer. Check this out. This already becomes super duper fun to read because there's something weird happening here, and now your eyes automatically focus to your text. So having a different font change in the middle of the text is always advisable. And also you have to make sure, click on the Alt key, make sure you're completely aligned in the center. If you're not, don't do that. Let's just remove any extra spaces. Click on this button and it's just going to give you auto height, perfect height. And we're going to now click on our Alt key. While clicking on the Alt key, we're going to shift with our arrow keys. So this is just going to align stuff perfectly for me. And this is really, really important. This is the difference between rough UI design and professionalism. This is why I'm super duper considerate about the spacing. It's just, Abdul says hi. Hello Abdul, welcome. Today is day 27. I have a feeling we've got a couple of special people watching today. Again, this is the gears image which we're getting from the Discord group. Let's just get the gears image, download this, and it's going to take a while to download. I'm going to be honest. It's going to take a while to download. Again, if you guys have any questions related to UI design, just let me know really quickly. Click on open, and while this is opening, I want to talk about something really fun. So today this is a fun like story time kind of thing. Just today we had just today this is I can't let this go while this image is loading. Just today I posted a poll on our Discord group, and it was a very difficult question in terms of I asked all of you guys if we should do complicated, animated, fun UI design builds, or if we should just stick to making complete, absolute, real-world websites. And it was so polarized because half of you were here, half of you were there. So I decided we are going to build just all of these complete apps we're going to build complete sites, but these complete sites are going to have, and I know I geek out, this is me geeking out, we are going to build complete sites, but they're going to have super cool animated effects, take the best from the both worlds, splash screen right here, guy walking in, super fun animated effect. This is sticky, like top level stuff. Raj Shaif asks, if I'm running on Intel Pentium, I don't know. I purchased this laptop a really long time ago, I don't know anymore. Anyways, so we're just taking animated effects and stuff we do separately and building out complete builds, you guys. I have no idea which chip I'm running. It has to be Intel because Intel is what everyone's using these days, so I hope it's Intel. If it's not, then that's not a good thing either. Let's just send this to back. Also while we're talking about comments, while we're talking about the comments of today, Ashmit, watch the dashboard. It has something special for you. That was a personal message. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And now that we've taken care of that, now we're getting into the most interesting part ever. We'll try to get this to be sticky. And in order to get this sticky, it's not okay if you just get this rectangle to be sticky, because if the rectangle is going to be sticky, this text is still going to scroll. So you want both of these things to be sticky. So we're just going to get this whole thing, group it together, and just group it together, and that's going to make sure it operates as a single element. Go to the prototype section, show prototype settings, and also make sure to set your scroll behavior to sticky. And this is where the magic is going to start happening. This is where the magic is going to start happening. Super duper fun stuff. Let's just take this from the top. Check it out. Super cool splash animation, but I don't know why the text is not fixed yet, but this is finally sticky. Success. Finally sticky. So this just stays right here, and you can basically go back and forth between two different screens. This is fun stuff. Fun stuff. And I don't know why this Zentas is. Abhinand says hi, hello, welcome back. Today we're building the best SaaS app, productivity app, builds splash screen, landing page, dashboard ever. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge, and I'm so sorry if I just take a lot of time to just geek out on stuff, can we take a moment to acknowledge this beautiful dashboard, this beautiful dashboard which we're building today? Like, I cannot wait to build this out, even though it's like a couple of minutes away right now. Can we just acknowledge this beautiful like schedule card? This is my favorite section of all time. Like, tell me which section you all like, because this date card is my favorite thing to build. Like, had so much fun building it. It zooms out and it's just the best thing ever. Bento grids, lovely. Raj says love bento grids. I love bento grids too. This is actually a complicated element to build. So we've had a shortcut. We have a shortcut for making this today, and also we have a long cut which I took. Check this date card out, you guys. I don't know why there's so much color on this screen, but I will always be a fan of this date card. This date is amazing, truly amazing date. Again, let's just go back to our stream. Let's just go back to our stream, and again, let's just build the third section. This third section is going to be an extremely full circle moment, because up until now we have a black sticky section, and now we're going to get to a completely black screen, and that's only going to happen when the last sticky section is also black. So let's just get another rectangle here, back again, copy and paste this, and also place this right here. Did you guys just, Tanish says this is not what you have shown in the thumbnail except logo. Tanish, let me just clarify that up for Tanish. Tanish, this is a complete productivity app. I couldn't place everything in the logo, so you basically have this huge landing page, and when you start to explore, then you build this whole dashboard out. So this dashboard is coming up. Check out how pretty this dashboard is. I am in love with the dashboard, and also this date. It's not my birthday, don't worry, but this date card is just super duper awesome stuff. Super duper fun stuff. Are you noticing this? How is no one just happy about this date card? It's zoning out, and it's just super duper special. Anyways, how is no one appreciating the date card yet? Abdul Rahman, you should stop appreciating me. You should start appreciating the date card. Super weird. Again, we're just going to get this to align perfectly. We're getting it to align this perfectly. We're just aligning this perfectly, and let's just align this perfectly. Add a stroke, and just make sure it lines perfect. Good lord, how hard is it to get this to align perfectly? And let's just change this color to black again, because super duper fun stuff. And now we're going to make the button of doom. Button. And again, one of the reasons I love this button is because the font that we were using, Lacquer, is actually very serial killer vibe when you use the capital font, and we're going to go with that vibe now. So just fun occult stuff. But how do you make buttons? The best way to make buttons is to just have a text element, click on plus, and start typing explore. Again, E has to be capital, and that's going to give you this weird serial killer vibe. If you had red, this would work perfectly. Black and red, perfect serial killer vibe. I'm just putting this out there because of how doable it is to make a serial killer vibe website, and I'm just now going on that tangent. Let's just auto layout happens from here now. So if you guys forgot how UI works from this Figma appeal, it's just auto layout works from here. So super fun stuff. Again, let's just change the color to black, and can we acknowledge how pretty the dashboard was for a moment? Can we just type D if you think the dashboard was pretty, because I can still not get over the fact that I built that dashboard. I am still not over the fact. Tanish, if that dashboard is AI made, then I might be a robot too. So you might want to worry about that, because we're both competing in the job market, and you're competing against an AI, and I have the upper edge. If that's AI made, then your job is, I'm pretty sure, very threatened by me then. Again, let's just get this rectangle sorted inside of our frame, because why is there a weird layer? Oh, alright, so that's just nothing. I'm just weird. I'm just weird at this point. Anyways, we're going to switch the colors because I accidentally changed the colors now, and we're just going to get to the comment section in a while. Let's just stick to our UI now. Again, this is going to be the absolute like black moment, and we're also going to add a border radius, because border radius, let's just add a border radius. Oops. Raj says, if AI can make that, we are all cooked. If AI can make that, then it also means I am AI, which means I am going to take over all of your jobs, complete the stuff you do in a year in one day, and then I'm going to get all of the money. So you Tanish, you better watch out. You better watch out, because you're not going to find a job in UI design anymore, because AI is just super cool at finding all sorts of stuff. If I'm an AI, I've made this, I'm coming for your job. No, I'm kidding you guys. There are many jobs which are higher paid for than Tanish's job, so don't worry. Anyways, coming back to this button, I just discovered the nicest thing in UI design ever. So if you start to add a border radius, if you go to this button and if you click on like corner smoothing, I never used to do this in the beginning, and I just feel like a complete fool now. If you increase the corner smoothing to 100%, you are going to have effects that are eye-opening. Like this just changes your border radius to a completely different level. And also now when we start to sort of work with it, why is this not changing the Zentask font? I'm angry now. What is going on with you? Hold on, I gotta fix that now. I gotta fix it. What is going on here? Can you just fix it? This is lacquer, not inter. Alright, this is lacquer now. Fine, we're good. Alright, now this is our button. The next thing we need to take care of is adding a hover interaction to this button. So this is the complete mud button, and this has this really cool blend in kind of button. So let's just get to that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this final state so that Figma can animate between this state and this state. So we just have to do two button states. The first one is done. The second one has a stroke. It does not have a fill, or if it has a fill, the fill is black. The font color is white now. So we're basically reversing the colors and adding a white stroke. So we're just going to figure that out. After when we start on the dashboard, I think that's when the true fun is going to happen. So this is in a frame. You have to make sure your button is in a frame. Even if you're using a rectangle and text, just group it and change it to a frame. Copy and paste it, and that's just drag it out. Make it center aligned with the text next to it. Actually, it is center aligned. If you make it full screen, hold on a minute. If you just make it full screen, it is actually perfectly center aligned. So this just is center aligned. I am just not putting it in full screen because this is actually a compressed version. I'm just doing this quickly because it's just easier this way. This is not 1080 pixels, which I just noticed. Let's just make it completely 1080. And also go back to the top of this frame. We're so close to getting this part done, you guys, and then we can just jump into the dashboard. Let's just go back to our frame and add a stroke and add let's do 4. Let's do 4. 4 should be fine. I'm going to get to the comments in a while. Maybe there's something of value there. But again, we have to change our stroke to white. Three things that we noticed. Change the stroke to white. Change the color to black for the button. Oops. Change the color to black. What is going on now? Let's just change it. This works. You know what? This is just what I just did. So we're just going to change the text color to white and also change the stroke. Let's just change this to white. And again, this is now a complete button. I know the stroke is not visible. If we just made this color darker, it would be visible, which is actually what we need to sort of show what we're going to be building. F5, F5, F5. Perfect. And now we're going to start with the prototyping. So now we're just mixing the prototyping and the actual design part, because this is a very fun level design. I'm not going to say advanced anymore. Fun level design. Anyways, when you hover over it, this interaction happens while hovering. So when you hover over it, trigger has to be on hover and it has to apply to this guy. So when you hover over it, it basically opens an overlay. This is very important. Don't use swap overlay. Don't use close overlay. Do not use swap overlay. Use open overlay, because this gives you the features that you want now. Overlay has to be your frame 4, which is the button that we're using. Position has to be manual. This is very, very important. Make sure the position is exactly set to this button. If it is outside, you're going to drag this rectangle, place this right here, but I'm not going to mess mine up. We're going to choose dissolve because we had a beautiful dissolve animation, and change this to let's do gentle. Should we do gentle? Should we do quick? Let's do quick. Quick should work well. Rajha says make it a component set. We might at some point we might. Alright, who else? I'm going to let a couple of people be in their delusions if they want to be. And also, hold on a minute. Alright, let's just switch back. Check this out, you guys. Super duper cool stuff. Again, this is our final actual prototype. This just works so well. Oops, I don't think it's working like this at all. Let's just start, and this is, again, we're done with the landing page at this point. I don't know why this is not updating. This might take like some internet and something. I don't know why it's not working. But main point, this works perfectly, and I'm an absolute fan of that. Let's just go back to our pages. Let's build the dashboard now. Alright, let's just go to a different frame. How do we, alright, so this is done. We need an actual dashboard page which this can now go to. So we're going to create a new frame. Click on F, and that's going to create a completely new frame. Change the design to a width of 1920 by 1080 because that's what this dashboard frame is going to stay at. This is going to be our dashboard now. You can actually rename this to dashboard if you want, but I'm not going to do that. Again, go to this explore button and change your prototype settings to go here, and now this is where the fun and colorful part starts to happen. So this is where we're going to start building this part. Super fun stuff. Again, this is also a really cool grid. This is also a super duper cool segment. Super duper cool inbox, just hijacking everything and just building the best UIs ever. And we'll just change it to navigate to this frame, which is called frame. Animation has to be, this is important, move in from the bottom. So when you basically, let me just go to the end really quickly. How do you scroll down? When you click on it, it just comes up from the bottom. So you have to make sure that is always taken care of. So now when you click on it, the move in has to be from the bottom, gentle, because you want it to stay at this speed. And now we're going to get started with this section. So when you click on this, oops, why is this not doing its job? Hover, when it hovers, it goes to this frame. When it clicks, it has to navigate to what is going on now? Why is this not working? Let's just close this off. I think something went wrong. None. On click, let's just fix this right away. Navigate to destination has to be the frame. Animation has to be smart animate. Curve has to be gentle. Duration has to be this much. You know what? Animation has to be move in. Push from the bottom. And oops, this is messed up. What is going on? This is actually a hover state. I have no idea why it's not doing its job as a button. Let's just restart this whole thing. For some reason, it's just giving me a ton of mistakes. Let me just see what's wrong really quickly, because we can sit here debugging, but that's going to take a whole other year. Oops, this frame, it actually. Alright, so here's the thing. I just figured it out. Basically, when you hover, you can only click on something after you've hovered over it. You can't click on something without hovering over it. Hovering over it means having a cursor on top of it. Without having a cursor on top of something, you cannot click on it. So your actual prototype animation from on click to navigate to has to happen from the button itself. This does not happen from this button state. It has to happen from the hover button state. So when this is clicked, it goes to the second frame, moves in, and I think this should work fine. Let's just test this out really quickly. Alright, and this opened up the new dashboard screen for us. This is perfectly what we want because this is a new white blank screen. And now that we've put the landing page splash screen aside, let's just focus on what we're going to be building today. So this is the complete dashboard that we're going to be building today. Search bar, logo, fonts, super duper cool, Bento grid. Check this grid out, you guys. Check this grid out. Check this orange color out. check this to-do list out. Just awesome stuff. And also this card, I am such a fan of this card. When are we going to acknowledge the date card, you guys? When are we going to do that? Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get started with our dashboard. The dashboard is very simple. You basically start from the top bar first. Let's just break this down, and then we can get to the bento grids. Logo plus dashboard text. So let's just build that out really quickly. Type T and Zen. Oops, not serial killer vibe. Zen task. Was that the name? I keep on forgetting the name. I just built this out today. Zen task dashboard. All right. Now let's change this to cool. And all right. And now that we figured this out, this is basically going to sort out 80% of the navigation bar, other than the search bar, of course. Let's just build the search bar now. So this is going to be broken down into two sections. The first thing with the search bar is this is a huge rectangle with all its borders sort of rounded off, and also there's a circle with a search bar. So we're just going to have to do that. Let's just create a really long rectangle and reduce the border radius to an absolute, completely rounded off section. Just make this smaller, and now we're going to sort of duplicate this, make it the exact same height as the width is. So just 103 by 103. In fact, 103 is a weird number. Why would I want to have 103 here? Let's just change the fill to black and also add a search bar. Control Alt P is going to run your last plugin for you, but if your last plugin wasn't Iconify, you're going to search for it from the resources button and just get your Iconify. And while that is loading, we'll just change the background color here to white. But you know what, it just loaded already. So let's just search for search. Super cool stuff. Let's just get, what happened to my cursor now? Let's just get this out of the frame. Alright, let's just place this inside and change the color to white. And increase the size. Again, increase the size. Make it thicker, of course. Go to the group, place it entirely in the center. Again, if you guys like what we're doing, make sure to like this video. Samir says, I'm going to read the comments because I haven't for a little while. Samir says, Bhai Abdul Rahman, let her concentrate. This is alright. Let me just be extremely clear now. This purple Abdul Rahman, who is an absolute pain in the butt, is not the person with that name. This is a weird friend who I knew from a really long time ago, who is just acting out now. Ashmit, stop it. I swear to God, I will ban you. I can't always go about banning all the new accounts you create, and you're making my job extremely difficult. I would ban anyone else, but I'm hoping you would just understand, because at some point we're all going to get mad at you. Not cool anymore. Let's just change the effects to, let's just change this effect to drop shadow. weird stuff. Alright, let's just change this to drop shadow, and also let's just increase the drop shadow now. Alright, so again, the main focus of the drop shadow here is to have as much thickness as you can build up at the bottom, which is of course your y-axis. Don't do -x -y-axis, because that's just going to take you in the opposite Cartesian directions. No point doing that at all. I'm surprised I managed to pull out the word Cartesian from my dictionary. Let's just increase. You know what? Why is my spread set to -12? Why is that at all? Alright. Let's just reduce this. Alright, let me just ban this weirdo really quickly. I've been working as a web developer, web designer for a really long time. I don't think you can fool me, and I'm just let's just hide you from this channel overall. Create a new account, go away. I would be worried if it was someone I didn't know, or if it was someone smart, but you're neither of those things. Shut up. Alright. we're back. Sorry about the personal debate, you guys. It was necessary. Anyways, again, if you don't want to design a drop shadow on your own, 60640 is just the perfect setting ever, and also change the black to 6% of opacity, and that's just going to make ourselves much easier to sort of read. Again, let's just check this out. This is the final dashboard UI, and we're just super duper close to it. You can adjust this to whatever thickness you want it to be, but as long as you can see what's going on here, it just works. It just works. Let's just add a spread to this, because when there's a spread, you can actually see the bottom shadow to the top as well. Let's just change it. I wouldn't tolerate a weird troll like that, the one I just banned normally, but I was hoping you'd understand, but it turns out you're just stupid. Shut up. Let's just make it thicker from the top side. Let's just increase the spread. What a weirdo. Let's stop it. Leave that. Let's just leave that alone, because again, we're back. This is the dashboard, and now the best part in the whole world, Bento grids. Bento grids, the best thing in the whole world. Check this out, you guys. Perfect Bento grids. Again, we did not decide on a color palette in the beginning, and we did not decide on a color palette up until now, but these are just colors from the same hue that we've taken, and they just work really well together. Let's just get these things sorted. All right. So basically, we have 5 different rectangles working over here, and you can just adjust these if you want. And basic concept is all of them have to be of the same size, one basic grid, and also a ton of border radius. Let's change this to 444. All right, let's just reduce the radius, and also copy and paste this once again. Copy and paste this again. Basically, you want to have an equal amount of spacing, and also get 2 of these to work. 2 of these to work. And also, at this point, I'm just remembering random jokes, because once I get started on the funny topics, it's really hard to stop. Again, you want to make sure the spacing between this and this, and the horizontal spacing, is always equal. Bento grids, pretty complicated. Let's just press the Alt key, and 20 is the spacing right here. And also you can just place this if you want to have some sense of what the spacing is, and you can just shift this around with your arrow keys, and let's just make sure the distance between this and this is always equal, 20. And this is going to be the sizing for your long container now, the space that this occupies. This is really easy to do if you're doing CSS grids. Absolute magic. It used to be a nightmare when only Flexbox existed, but see, through the magic of the gods of CSS grid, we have an elegant solution to this whole issue. Again, let's just duplicate this wide rectangle, and let's just duplicate this wide rectangle, and also make sure the spacing is quite equal. And now we're going to, oops, this is 26, we want 20. Let's just keep on shifting, and make sure to press the Alt key. Bento grids, absolute favorite. I forget sometimes what these things are called, and I just have my own words for them, which are completely nonsense babble talk. Anyways, let's just increase the size to this, and this works perfectly. This works perfectly. Hold on a minute. I think I have to take care of something. Hold on a minute. All right, so now that we've taken care of this, you can basically, before you add any content, you can sort of squeeze it around up until to a point where you're happy, and just work with it for a little while. This has to be a little bit lighter if you're not happy with its blur. Just increase the blur. High blur values are always good. Spacing between this and this has to be equal. Just basic stuff. And guys, can we just stick to UI design for a moment, because at this point everyone is coming up with something new to talk about, and I'm just going to start banning people left and right now. I was hoping I didn't have to, but I'm just going to have to. Alright, So now that we have figured out the spacing and both of them are spaced to like exactly 111 pixels both sides, and you can increase the font size if you're not happy with the way stuff is working now. Oops, just make sure everything is left aligned before you be a stupid head like me, and change the font size to this. And also let's just get this grid grouped together. Also just adjust this stuff to be perfectly aligned in the center. And now weird jokes, long history. I apologize again. Let's just shift this up by a couple of pixels. Again. Hold on a minute. Gaurav says, I've been watching your videos since August 25, but here to binge watch now. Thank you. That's really nice. All right. Let's just jump back to the UI design. And this is perfectly centered now. This is perfectly centered now. All right. This is working. This is the very core of wireframing technically, because we haven't jumped into wireframing on this channel yet, but this is the core of wireframing. You have dark black, white, gray sort of containers which basically just work well together to give you a sense of what you're building. And now that we have that figured out, we can actually add some color to this, make our life interesting. I'm just going to stick with the colors that I found initially, not use the exact same hex codes, but if it says purple in the beginning, I'm just going to use purple here because it's just a color scheme that works really well. You can use your own, test it out a couple of times, and then you should probably have something that works. Alright, let's just change this to... Sus says, hey, I'm a front-end developer but can't understand any more React plus Next. I think React and Next.js will... I think no one is very comfortable with React, and I say this from experience, no one is comfortable with React and Next.js in the beginning. Once you're in a corner of necessity where the only option left is to learn these things, then you just learn these things. Otherwise, I had to learn them out of necessity. Of course I was excited about wanting to build all of this cool stuff, but Next.js happens out of necessity, and then you realize it's the best thing that ever happened to you as a developer. Next.js is a complete item of necessity. Let's just change this to green. Once again, just choose a color that you like, and also change this to red. How could I forget this bright color in our faces? Red. Alright, now that we've fixed that, this is the part where our images are starting to actually get very useful. Let's just go to a point where our images start to get extremely useful. Shift it above, and also let's just start downloading our images. So I want to get started with our red container first, because again, why not? Before we do anything, when we make this section, would you guys want to see how you do build it with the long cut or just the shortcut? Just type long cut, shortcut in the comments, and I'm just going to get a hint really quickly, because this has two ways of building, one of which takes time, one of which doesn't, and I'm not sure what to do right now. So just type long, short, whatever you guys want, and we can just progress from there. Meanwhile, you can just download this mobile image, just download this really quickly. And also, while this image is long cut, alright, we're doing the long version. Exciting, nice. Let's just Ctrl+Shift+K, and that should basically get you your mobile image. Absolutely, moving your career in UI UX design actually gives you the skills to create maps of the websites that you're going to make, and it is at that point that you start to feel strongly enough that your UI UX designs need actual websites, and it's after that point you will basically roll over, learn Next.js. So yes, UI UX design is the perfect second step if you're not thinking of going into React and Next.js immediately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be too worried about Next.js. It seems complicated at first, but it turns out sometimes when you don't have any options in life, that's just what you have to do. So it's just one of those things that you'll learn with time. say hi in the comments, you guys, because today is super duper fun. The thing that we're building is just out of this world crazy. And also add some text, reminders, and never miss a meeting again. So we'll just do that. Reminders and never miss a meeting again. Whoops, wrong font, but let's just continue. Change the font to Coolen. I don't know if they call it Coolen or Cowlen. I do not know, but let's just stick with Coolen. All right, now that we figured this out, let's create a different font. And would you guys like to see me build, because I've been thinking of taking up a couple of opportunities. Would you guys like to see me build complete HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or maybe even Next.js sites of the stuff that we're doing here? Maybe a couple of builds of that, just the sites that we're building here, maybe completely built out as actual website URLs. Would you guys like to see that? Just type yes in the comments, and we might get to that in a couple of weeks. Never miss a meeting again, because I have a couple of, yes, I am a developer. Never miss an update. Alright, maybe one or two. Again, I'm not even sure if it's going to happen at this point. It's just one of those things which is under consideration, and we might build it at some point. Never miss a meeting again. Update is fine. Again, let's just stick to this. Let's just change the color to white, and also change this to dark orange, the one we're using right now. So just get the color, make it even darker, and just play around with colors until you're happy with the color that you've reached at, and that's just going to be it. Maybe just even make it a little bit more on the red side. This works better. This works much better. This is far better as a color, and also we're just making this lighter because it's just easier that way. Hello Ankush, welcome back. We are back with the best, most complete stream we've ever done, and this is just going to take your freelance career to a completely different level. Let's just go to the plugins and get another icon, which is going to be the bell this time, because bell is showing that we're getting our notifications now. I was hoping we could get a notification bell, but I actually built it out myself. So let's just do what we've already done and build out the same bell ourselves. Let's just import this bell really quickly. You can get any bell from the Iconify plugin, best plugin for icons and stuff like that ever to have existed, at least as far as I've seen in Figma. Let's just zoom in, and this is going to be extremely delicate detail work. Make sure to just click on this lock button, so that's just going to make sure everything is sort of constrained and fun. And also we're going to start with adding a number, so we'll just add, you know what, let's just do two notifications. The bad thing with the Coolen one is you can't tell if it's a 1 or an I, and I'm just giving impartial reviews at this point, so 2 is just easier for most people to see. Frame this, and now this is the part where the fun stuff starts to happen. You're going to create an auto layout, which is basically going to allow you to create a whole button. Let's just create a whole circle. Make sure it's set to hug and not fixed contents. Let's just stay with this, because honestly, why would we not? Change the color to, you know, there's just so much weird stuff to laugh at, and it also weirds me out when people ask why I'm laughing, because half the time I'm laughing on stream, and that has nothing to do with what's happening here on chat. Just when you're sitting quietly in front of a screen trying to talk to a bunch of people who you don't even see through a camera, it's just extremely easy to remember every funny thing that ever happened to you all at once, and I do appreciate that. This takes an incredibly long amount of time, super duper boring stuff, but the end result is so worth it. Like, I'm sitting here and laughing at something that happened 6 years ago, and everyone's just asking me weird questions about what I'm laughing at. Am I laughing at the weird internet creep? Absolutely not. It's a funny thing from 6 years ago, which none of you know nothing about. Alright, reminders icon is done. Change this to white and that should hopefully fix things for you. This works perfectly. This works completely perfectly. And now we're going to jump to our next section. I feel like this is way too light at this point, but maybe it's just me going back and forth with the color. This looks so good. Just check it out. It's just awesome as a color. Super duper awesome. And maybe we go to orange, maybe we don't. This looks good. I'm just not going to overthink it at this point. Alright, the next thing we're going to take a look at is which section should we do first? Should we do inbox or should we do schedule cards? Should we do inbox or schedule card? Type I or S. I for inbox, S for schedule cards. And we can just jump to one of those really quickly. Inbox, super duper fun stuff. Inbox. Let's go to schedule. CR7 typed inbox, so we're just going to have to go with that. Let's just create. Sas asks what I like more, code or UI. I think both have their own very important places. Of course, UI design is fun, but sometimes, and you will find this when you just go advanced with it, sometimes you just want, regarding what's better between code and UI, as a designer, sometimes you just want to see the stuff that you've made work on an actual website, and there is and code can be boring at times, I will agree to that, but nothing has compared to the feeling of making your own UI design and then having an actual web URL where you just give that www.mysite.com, give it to people, and they just see this UI design which you built as an actual working site, because most people don't understand what a UI design is. Out of this world stuff. Out of this world stuff. So it's just the feeling that you get when you have your own website which you've built after your own UI and your own programming. Nothing compares to that, especially not is it this or that, especially not one or the other. The person that you get to be when you use both of these skills is just another out of this world thing. So just nothing compares to that feeling, if I'm being honest. Let's just copy this. And also, what do we type for inbox? All your emails and messages in one place. All your emails and messages in one. Why is it so hard for me to type stuff? One place. Like, I do it all the time. It's actually at a very bad point where the keys in my laptop are actually starting to come out in your hands, which is, it's an experience you only understand if you've ever felt it. It's just so weird, and you're just trying to stick them with sellotape. So just one of those cool moments where you really admire the fact that you've been typing for this long, and just make it smaller. You can align it like this. You can just align it in a straight line. Straight line should do better for us, so let's just align this in a straight line, and hopefully that should click on the Alt key, and that's going to just shift things. Perfect alignment. Raj says not using lorem ipsum today. I see. This is such a perfect UI SaaS app UI that I couldn't bring myself to use lorem ipsum. I would have wanted to. The lazy UI and designer in me says you should, but again, this is just, I built this today itself, so it's just so fresh, so fun. I can't bring myself to use lorem ipsum. I might copy and paste text, which might be irritating to you if you're trying to build it out yourself, but I am not by any chance using the lorem ipsum plugin today. Hold on, I gotta drink water because I've been screaming at the mic for a really long time. I thought I wanted to drink water, but now that you have it's just worse. It just, for some reason, everything is just worse. Anyways, we are back, and just use a really dark color. This is the theme that we're going with. Have a white title, and then maybe a white or a black title if visibility issues exist, but make sure this color is a really dark shade of the background color that you're using. So this is a really dark purple, my favorite thing ever. Let's just change this to And now we're going to start creating our emails, and this is the part where we're actually going to use plugins. No, not Lorem Ipsum plugin, Unsplash plugin. So just make this smaller, and also if you guys are having fun, make sure to like this video, because I just want this to reach as many people as possible, and honestly that only happens when people are clicking on the like button. So create a rectangle here as well. This is for the attachments, if there are any, and for our perfect world scenario we are going to have a couple of attachments. Let's get to our Unsplash plugin from the plugins and widgets of the resources section, and also let's just get this image right here. Go to plugins and widgets, go to the Unsplash plugin. Unsplash plugin is now loading, and now that it is loading, we are going to talk about the best way to have portraits in Unsplash plugin. So the most basic way, and I covered this in the plugins video, is to just search for an image, put it right here. But if you're thinking of just having fun with the Unsplash plugin, this is what I used to do for the longest time. Go to the presets tab and insert a random image. Super duper fun stuff, super duper cool stuff. Gives you a random image, truly random, or you can select one of these categories. Maybe let's do business, and then that's going to give you a business related image which is just random, and it's just so fun to use. I don't know what this is anymore, but I'm not going to find out either. Let's just change this to what the name of the sender. Of course, the name of the sender, Jane Doe. If you guys suggest some really cool names, I will change the name of the UI of the email UIs to whoever's names you suggest. Just suggest a couple of names, you guys. What names should we use? Let's do Jane Doe. That's the most basic name to ever have existed. What else? Keshav Jha, is that specific? Oddly specific? Are you holding out grudges against this person? Why Keshav Jha? Walter Pookie. Oh wow, nice names, you guys. Alright, before I actually get into that, I basically forgot to add a basic square for our inbox mails, so I'm going to have to do that. Also, this feels too wide. You can change your and sign to ampersand sign, and that's going to hopefully simplify things by a whole lot. Oops, make sure to just center line the whole thing. Alt key, and that should just basically help you center line your whole UI. This works perfectly well. And now we're just going to send this to the back. Also send, where did our square go? I sent it to the back and then it just went to the back. Why? You can just use the Control Shift key to send it behind some stuff. And also, where is our rectangle now? This is our rectangle. This square needs to be in front of the rectangle. Change the color to white. Who is Keshav Jha? Why do I not know a Keshav Jha when all of you know Keshav Jha out of nowhere? Can anyone explain the story? Because that might be a fun read. Double click and select both of these corners. This is basically going to make you this really nice rounded off section. Who is Keshav Jha? I need to know the story if I'm going to put a name. This is not going to be like India's Got. I don't watch India's Got Talent. What happened on India's Got Talent? I'm so out of the loop right now, and I would just so love to be in the loop, but turns out I don't have a loop to begin with. So we're just going to make sure this is corner smoothed out, perfect corners. Raj asks, don't you watch Samay Raina? I'm not even sure who Samay Raina is at this point. I'm so out of the loop. I feel old. These comments are just so weird. I do not know who Samay Raina is. I don't know what talent show you're talking about. I'm legitimately, I maybe heard of these names on banners and billboards and stuff, but never in real life. Nothing in real life. Anyways, since I am not sure and I might have to check it out, I probably won't because I'm too lazy. Since no, I don't watch Pogo, let me just clarify. But I don't watch the stuff that's just weird TV. It just eats at your brain. I feel like most of the stuff that's out there at this point just eats at your brain, so just avoid it overall. And it's led to a happier life. It's led to a happier life. Corner smoothing might make this feel weird right now, which you might want to fix, but I'm not going to. A lot of you know how I work. The judgments have already started. I did used to use Discord on the web, but on the PC, but I'm basically trying to conserve PC space right now, so joke's on you. Who would want to install a whole application when you can just use the web version? Like, the advantages of using the web version are insane, and the only reason I switched to Figma on the desktop, and actually I just started with this, is because animations here are super duper cool. I don't know if it's the WebGL, I don't know what it is on the browser side, but it's actually quite headachy if you try to use figma.com, and also I'm just using this all the time now, so it's just easier this way. But I just started on, I'm not very old on Discord either. Like, I didn't used to use Discord a lot before our Discord community started. Of course, it's so interesting I can't skip it, so I do have the installed app on my phone. Don't judge me. Some people in the comments use Figma web version. Can we just stop the judgment, because I feel like I'm going to be the one criticized the most today for my weird choices. But all of my decisions are very logical, and that gives me the plot armor I need for all of this to work. Alright, what email text should we type? Let's just type a new email. And also we're going to use a simple degree sign, which you can find with your ASCII arrows. ASCII text circle. This is the fun stuff. Which is really geeking me out. I don't know why I feel like this is just a community Veera roasting session now, but I don't know why it was just really difficult to, like, I don't know why when you have black backgrounds and plain thin white text, it's just difficult. Like, it just gives you a weird glare, which is like, I felt like it was doing something to my eyes which I didn't want it to do, so I just went out of the dark mode trend very soon. I do build for dark mode now. I have to work obviously on the web, so I do build for dark mode and stuff like that, but I do prefer the light mode for some reason. It's easier on the eyes for some reason, at least for me. It's easier on the eyes, even though popular opinion is otherwise. Let's just change 2 days ago. 2 days. Let's just. That's actually really nice, Faizan. The fact that you've let me be the only. You've let this UI design stream be the only white themed thing ever. But also, it's actually, I found it's always better to, like, design for light mode in mind, because if you are designing for light mode, it's just easier. Especially, there is a generation of people, if you're building for, like, out in the real world, many people are just in the commercial world right now, are super duper reliant, super duper heavy on light mode. So also it helps me think about things in that sense. And I don't know why people say dark mode is good to reduce strain, but I just found it to do the opposite, the exact opposite. Just dark mode did the exactly. Raj, you might want to call it uncle aunties, but I like to view them as a huge part of the commercial industry even now. So you can't truly escape that at all, and I don't think you should try to either. So there's a huge bunch of people, and now you might place me in a different community too, but I'm fine with that. At least I'm more experienced. At least I have that to save me, even when I'm being roasted to a degree where it's just whoa. Alright, so now that we have this figured out, I think we're super duper close to getting this component made, which honestly took forever. But the fact that there is so much that I don't know about, the fact that this public roast was so fun is just cutting our wait time short. Truly fun stuff. Again, make this light, make you know what, get a purple, make it even lighter, and that should fix things. You can change the gray as much as you want. Change the gray to whatever the hell you want, and I know Google and YouTube keep on suggesting, like YouTube kept on suggesting like Samay Raina to me, but I never watched. I don't know. Maybe this is me being extremely, and now that we've completed this component, you can basically create an asset out of this. And now that we have, oops, I think I created the wrong asset. It's actually the right asset. Close this. Oops. Now that this asset is now made, we can just basically duplicate it. I would much rather watch like some crazy Ariana Grande vocal to Who Summer Raina Is any day. I would much rather, I'd much rather watch crazy Ariana Grande vocals any day. So yes, if anyone is wondering why I don't know who Summer Raina is, no, I do not live under a rock. I'm just not interested. I'm just way more focused on crazy Ariana Grande vocals and all sorts of music. So I hope that answers your question. Raj, I'm not going to answer that question. It's very disrespectful. All praise the queen. No, I'm kidding. Not going to answer that. Not going to answer that. There is a limit to the level of I don't know this I can take. There is a level. I will answer any UI design question you guys have. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to do that. Alright, now that we've taken care of this, Raj, let me just give you some context, just so you know I'm not going crazy. Raj says, who is Ariana Grande? And then says, she's a Ariana singer. Stupid jokes, but we move on. Alright, this is the fun part now. This is the fun part. You're basically going to drag this frame to wherever your rectangle is located, create another copy of the rectangle. I know you might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. Group both of your new rectangles and your frame together as one, and this is going to be advanced UI level stuff. You're going to go to the bottommost rectangle. Obviously this has to be at the top, the bottommost rectangle. Go to the three buttons and create use as masks to just make a mask, and that's going to cut your long list short from wherever it is, and this is going to be your actual image. So this is again fun stuff. Manny, I'm going to answer the question. Give me a moment. I'm much too focused on the current UI that we're building. Alright, should I work as a graphic designer or UI designer as a fresher? As a fresher, please suggest. Alright, graphic design is something that I learned so much about. Like you learn 80% of graphic design working long enough, working hard enough in UI design. So I think UI design is over graphic design any day. Like I could sit here, I could create this complete UI and then also create this logo right here. Maybe it's not the best advanced level logo you've ever seen, but as long as you get a good feel of what UI design is, get a good feel of the fonts and the colors and the text and stuff, you're going to be having a lot more fun with UI design than you could ever dream of with graphic design. That's just my opinion. Alright, you can now that we're done with the inbox, let's just change this color. I hope that answers your question. I hope that doesn't make you too mad. Alright, we're just having fun here. Alright, now that we've created this one, where is my, let me just send this to back. Where did that shit, where did the notification thing go? Where did it, you guys saw it, right? I didn't imagine it. It just vanished at this point. Here it is. I think I got it. There was also an image which I'm hoping is still there. Alright, this is there. Let's just make this disappear for a little while. Okay, this is here. I was honestly worried. Let's just drag this above this image. And also drag this image is dragged. Let's just drag these two above our image as well. And now we're going to open it. This works fine. I was honestly afraid we'd have to make it twice. Where did I learn UI design in Figma? A ton of places, no single answer, but honestly I think I just learned from 1,000 different places, and I get to bring all of those 1,000 different places to you right here on this channel. So if I could, I would learn from this channel now. Hopefully that's a simple enough answer. Now we have 3 huge sections to make. Let's just which section should we do first? Which section should we do first? Should we do schedule cards? Should we do to-do lists? Should we do send gifts? Just S, T or G, send gifts. Just really quickly, you know what, I'm going to go with schedule cards. I'm not just going to give common or disregard to the community. Alright, so the next thing we're going to make is our, and again I'm going to get to the comments really quickly, you guys. Let's just jump to what we're building right now, and this is next. We're just talking about the schedule cards section now. It just has three different elements that you need to take care of when you're building this out. So let's just adjust the shade up to a point where it looks good. Alright, this looks fine. You can work with the colors to reach a point which you're happy with, and I think this looks fine for me. The color that we're using, the first image that we're using is actually in the Discord group. It's in the Discord group, Ultimate SaaS App 100-day UI Assets. I'm just speechless at this point for some reason. I'm going to download this image now. Ansh Barbaria says, I got very absolute knowledge for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Manny says, does advanced prototyping a must learn for a fresher to get a UI job? I think it's a good skill to have. Again, it depends on which company you're going for, what level of skill they're looking for, but of course I don't know what exact skills you're talking about at this point, but of course being skilled as an advanced UI designer, which we teach on this channel basically, will help you get higher salaries than you would as a fresher, even when you're just starting out. This has a lot to do with how good you are in the field as opposed to anything else in my experience, which is why I just say you just have to have good skills, and then that's it. Tommy, you can find all of these statistics online. I don't want to get into the actual numbers because this is aimed to be an evergreen tutorial, and I just don't want to put numbers that change due to inflation and all sorts of reasons. So I just don't want to go there right now. You can find this all online, whichever time you're look at, because people might watch this video much later than now. So this number does change, and I don't want to misguide anyone who's watching in the future. Again, now we're going to build this card out. Super duper fun stuff. Absolutely fun stuff. Let's just, Raj says, how many case studies do I need in my portfolio? I think you could do if you want to appear really good at what you do, people only read 4 to maximum. I've seen people read when there is an absolute crisis. People, if they like your portfolio, if they don't like your portfolio, you're rejected after the first case study. If they like your portfolio, it could go up to 10. So having 20 is a good number for some reason. I just think that's the perfect number for me. It's just the perfect number for me. But again, Lost Manny asks, can you please make a video on advanced prototyping or suggest any channel which help you to learn advanced prototyping? If you join us live for 100 days of this UI design challenge, in fact, the landing page that we just built, this, you know what, I'm just going to show you this really quickly. This landing page uses a splash screen, intro effect, walk in from the side. This is actually a sticky section, so I'm just going to zoom in for now. So you basically, this section stays while you can scroll this part. All of this is advanced prototyping. This button, the way it smoothly goes in and out, is all advanced prototyping. If you join us live for 100 days of UI design straight, I think you're going to have enough experience with advanced prototyping that there isn't any exact video for this. I'm trying to break those concepts down as of now, but truly on the internet there isn't just one video, one playlist that you can watch to have it all, other than the 100 days of UI design challenge, in my knowledge, as far as I'm concerned right now. Raja asks, there's no job for a UI designer, everything is done by AI now. Which world are you living in? Because I know there is a huge market for UI designers, extremely large. I know there is. This is the world where there is a ton of cool UI design stuff happening. In fact, it has only just started. As far as India is concerned, it has only just started. Raj, I think I was going from a point of view of a really advanced, established UI designer, and also 20 case studies is not a hard number to do if you're following any. If you take the 100 UI designs that we're building, if you just build 20 of those out, leave the other 4 for every 5 videos that we do on this channel, if you just build out one and then you just have a blog for that, it's just going to be the simplest thing ever. So any case studies, and again, you can, if you like, this is a life hack, you guys. You could just download the group 24/1 image, and then I'm going to show you something extremely cool. So this is actually, I just placed this in here as a life hack. Why is my image not downloading? It did. Now we're good. Let's just let this stay where it is. Anyways, this is the actual card that we're going to be building. It does not have all its components, but if you just want to place this right here, you can place it. If you don't, if you want to learn, we will do a case study on the live at some point. We will build a case study at some point. If you guys want me to dive deeper into how this was made, I can do that. Or if you guys just want me to just go with this image, because you all have access to this image through the Discord group, just type, it's okay. If you want me to build this, just type B in the chat really quickly. Type B in the chat and I'll build this out. Meanwhile, I'm just going to add a couple of text boxes. If you guys want to see me build this date thing, I can build this out, but it takes a little bit of time and I don't want to. Okay, so people are asking for, the people have spoken and we're going to build this out. Alright, let's just delete it. So we're just going to drag this out, and this just serves as reference now. This is really good because it serves as reference. I'm just going to get this to rotate by a couple of pixels. That's just going to make things, give you a rough idea of what your thing is going to look like. This works perfectly. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a square. Just go to rectangle. From here, very simple stuff, super duper simple stuff. Create a rectangle of almost an equal size. I don't think this is perfectly rotated. This isn't. Let's just get this as close as we can. This works fine. And just add a border radius. Oops, add a border radius. If you want to add a border radius, you can just add a border radius really quickly. Again, if you want, you can just sort of change the size, change the dates and stuff. And now we're going to start with our text. This is the best part, text. We can obviously go to the other sections as well. Let's just start with text. When should we deliver this? Should we deliver? I'm not using the Lorem Ipsum plugin because this works so well. Tommy, you will find a good job if your portfolio is up to the mark, if you're really good as a UI designer, and that's going to happen. If you really build out a lot of projects, and that's going to happen. One of the simplest ways to do that is to follow the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge. We're doing this regularly now, and you can just watch us live every single day, 8 PM Indian Standard Time. And we also review a lot of really cool awards websites and stuff at 6 PM Indian Standard Time, so you might want to check that out as well. If you're a really good UI designer, I don't think anything is stopping you from getting a good job. I don't think anything is stopping you. Again, you guys should really refrain from, before I say anything about the chat, you guys should really refrain from leaving personal comments in the chat, whatever their nature is, regardless of their nature. You guys should really refrain from that, because God knows I ban people for doing it, and then you won't be able to ask any questions related to UI UX design either, and there is no way anything good is going to come of writing random personal comments. It's just weird and freaky. You just look weird. Stop it, because I'm going to ban you. There is nothing stopping me at this point. It's just extremely weird, and you just want to get this to a really. If you've done enough projects, it's really easy to master UI UX design. Answering the comment right now. Add border radius, and of course, if you can, make sure to add corner smoothing. I didn't know iOS had this level of corner smoothing, which is actually quite nice to hear about. Let's do an iOS level corner smoothing. We might do something on that really similarly. It is actually a variable number for different people how easily they master UI UX design. It is actually very. And what is mastery per se? Then the question becomes, how far along do you have to be on a UI UX design journey when you call yourself the absolute master? I don't call myself a master because honestly it just sounds weird. And it just sounds like very boastful, and I don't even know what to call it at this point. Let's just leave that conversation. And now we're going to start adding, you know what, let's just change the year, because 2024 is boring enough. I'm just going to roll back the time. Let's just add a couple of months. June. Copy and paste this. July. Copy and paste this. August. How to get referrals from LinkedIn. If you don't know anyone on LinkedIn, it's really hard to get referrals at first. But if you like, I'm going to give you the number one hack, I think, at this point, which exists. I don't know if, like, some people, let me just be extremely clear. Some people know a lot of people, maybe from their college, maybe from the people they've worked with on their past job, and then it's really easy to get a referral. Some people have worked with my eyes won't work if I turn it to dark mode. My eyes won't be very happy with it, so super duper sorry for that. Can't do it anyways. Alright, so my point was, if you're looking for a LinkedIn referral, this is one of the questions. I think it's extremely hard to get a LinkedIn referral if you're not, like, and this was hard for me, because if you're not, hard for me as well, hard for everyone, because if you don't have people who you've worked with on maybe a freelance job, college, some point, something like that, it just gets extremely difficult to get referrals. But here's the thing. I would honestly, and if you're asking about referrals from me, which is also, it might be a question at this point, I would honestly endorse anyone on LinkedIn who I know is a good UI designer. So if you're just looking for anyone in the industry and I can do something to help that out, join the Discord group, share a couple of your stuff, and we can maybe, when we do like the review of the projects and stuff for all of the UI designers and stuff, because all of the viewers have their own portfolios, and you guys might want me to review those, so we might have a video on that coming up at some point. We might make a video and stuff. I have got people who are sharing like their real life portfolios and stuff. When I see a couple of you guys who are just really invested, really good UI designers, I would not have a problem endorsing you at that point. So again, if you're looking for random people to give you compliments on LinkedIn, I think it's extremely difficult. But yes, if you join an organized design community like the one we have at Discord, and just are regular enough, at some point I think I might endorse a couple of people from our community, because I see a lot of you are just extremely, genuinely very, very hardworking and just invested in what you're doing. So it's not an issue if I have to, like, I could vouch for a couple of you if you're just really invested. Join the Discord community maybe, and that should be a start. Let's just reduce these opacities. This is just plain black text, but you just randomly keep on reducing the opacity between each consecutive value. I hope that answers your question. Just let me know if that answers your question, because otherwise it's just like talking to a wall. And let's just reduce the opacity up until a point it's barely visible. And now that we've figured this out, in fact, why is this in this group? Is this in a group? This is in a group. Let's just get this and this rectangle out of our group. Now that these are out of the group, let's just, when did I start using Figma? I started using Figma when I started to UI design. Copy and paste this. And just shift this down by a couple of pixels. Very, very simple stuff at this point. And again, let's just change these numbers to 17. I think we'll start from 17, 18, whatever dates you're using, 19. Can you share some resources for UX design principles? Actually, we actually thought about this. If we complete like 300 subscribers by 22nd, which is happening tomorrow, actually, we will share my top UI UX design resources list, which tackles the basic analysis paralysis beginners in UI design go through. 5 best fonts for beginners, 3 best color palettes for beginners. Simplest stuff, not to get confused anywhere else, just the best stuff ever. In which year did I start design? It was a really long time ago. Really long time ago. And again, we're just getting to time now, which you can just put whatever you want at this point. This was AM PM concept was extremely confusing for me, but I just went along with it. Use of laws of UI. What is the use of laws of UI? I think at some point, if you've just read the laws of UI, if they're at the back of your head, you will automatically design stuff that's just good and that's just nice. And laws of UI just increase the way you understand UI to its very, very core, and you just design better. That's the simplest answer I can give you. Tommy has subscribed. Let's start the party. Let's just start the party. Actually, thank you so much for subscribing. It really means the world to me. But honestly, let's just go, because super duper quickly we're just going to be sharing the whole thing with you all, and it's just going to be the best thing ever. Laws of UX are Doherty principles and stuff like that. There is a couple of laws of UI UX design which you can just read online, and I did something on my Instagram as well a really long time ago. These are just basic laws that are very, very basic to UI UX design as a whole. Even if you don't know them, it doesn't kill you. You can still be a good UI designer. In fact, I didn't know them for a really long time. But just Doherty threshold and random stuff, it's just random good trivia to know as a UI UX designer. Maybe increases your design skill by a couple of inches. Good stuff, good stuff. At the end of the stream, can you please tell us how to use type scale? We could go into that. Definitely. Let's just keep the questions coming, and we are so close to getting this done. Super fun stuff, super duper fun stuff. I have a really funny story to share with this about this. I made this today, and I was so excited about this UI design just looking so pretty, and this happens so often with me. I will share whatever I've made with the people who are around me, family and stuff, and no one in my family friend circle is any working close to tech, like not even web developer, web designer, programmer, nothing of the sort at all. And then it just becomes this really weird affair where I'm just talking about how it was just so difficult to get the font coolant to work right, and they're just looking at me like I'm a crazy person talking. So I refrain from talking about how fun UI UX design is, but it's just so easy to have these awkward moments when you're just geeking out about this font looks so good and no one understands you at all. It's just a font. Why are you so excited about this? Madhav, you could share whatever you want me to review case study portfolio in the Discord group. Just join it, first pinned comment, and one of these days, very soon, we're going to be building a complete video on reviewing all of your case studies and all of your portfolios, and hopefully that's going to simplify whatever doubts you have. Hopefully that's going to give you a couple of suggestions that are helpful. Thank you so much, Tommy. It's actually nice to see you guys see for yourself hope in UI design. It just means the world to me. Thank you so much. Can we use Figma for making advertisements for airports, big digital screens? Absolutely. If you have the pixel ratios right, you can use Figma for anything. I use it for like thumbnails and everything. Just everything that I do is basically Figma at this point. All of my design tools. Like I looked at Canva one day, but I was already using Figma, so I just never used it ever, and that's just the end of it. Let's just round this off. Make sure you're not rotated like a weirdo. Let's just put this in the center. Why is this happening? Take it. Why are you not moving? This is the hard part with lines. They don't have any place with which you can pick them up and sort of move them around. Just extremely. Yes, absolutely, Raj. Everything can be done in Figma as far as UI design, graphic design, logo design is concerned. I've done all of these things in Figma and more. I've designed like I'd submitted a couple of, like when I was during like education and stuff, I like completed real life like projects and stuff, and we had to do like whole complete case. Basically we had these huge projects and stuff which we had to have a cover page for, and I've designed cover page from the education days in Figma, and I had a couple of those ready with me. So Yep. I've done real life projects from my education. I've done covers of that and stuff, group projects and stuff on Figma a really long time ago. So yes, basically everything that can be done in Figma is done in Figma. Madhav, I will come out with a video reviewing everything that you guys have really soon, extremely soon, and then we can just review your whole thing really well. 2008, this just makes me feel so old. Anyways, let's just drag, oops, didn't group it together, we'll just group it together. We are done with this section, the most tiring section. Actually not tiring, it's actually quite fun, but it did take a while. So long time taking section in this segment. And also rotate this around, add an effect, add a blur. Oops, add a blur. This works perfectly. Again, if you guys have any questions related to UI UX design, make sure to leave them in the comments. I am always happy to reply. Let's just get these copied and pasted wherever we want them to be. Where did you go? Let's just bring this to the front. Bring to front. And now we're just going to change this to gift. What was the title? I just forget so easily at this point. Schedule cards. Schedule. You know what? Let's do birthday cards, because I want to do birthday stuff really soon. In fact, I might. What would you guys like to see as a birthday special episode? Because I was quite unsure of what to do. Schedule all your cards and gifts for important events and birthdays. I'm just going to copy the text because I'm just downright not going to type it out. Let's just get all of this text, copy it out, and we're just going to paste this in this exact same style. Don't worry, I've not changed anything. If you want to change the color, you're going to take this background color and make it darker. Just select all of this and get the background color right here, and also make this darker. When is your birthday? My birthday is actually going to happen really soon. It's going to be on stream. I don't know what to make on that day either. I don't know if I'm going to record that episode, because I might not be here in the studio, so I might just record that episode. But again, not sure yet. Maybe we could do like a usual UI design, but maybe we won't. So I'm not sure yet what to do about my birthday. Again, if you guys have good suggestions, let me know, because I might want to just take a break for one day for my birthday. I might do that. Can you follow this live as a beginner in Figma? Do you have very basic tutorials? This is the best Figma beginners UI series ever. If you're a beginner in UI UX design, you can follow this tutorial series from any day. Basically, I think day 7, the dragon UI was actually a good place to start. But if you're a complete beginner, you can just start from the very first video of this series and follow along. Every single day we come live at 8 PM Indian Standard Time, build out these awesome UIs, and it's just the most fun thing ever, and you will just learn UI design from that. Manny asks one question: I'm afraid I forgot using Photoshop in illustration after using Figma. Should I worry about it for applying to a job? If you're UI UX designer, I don't think Photoshop and Illustrator are even in the question. And if I'm being honest, I've used Photoshop a couple of times and forgotten as well. So don't use Photoshop. I don't use Photoshop and Illustrator anymore. They're just here for aesthetic purposes in the background. Even I forgot about them. But once you get familiar enough with online UI tools and stuff like that, you just build this stuff out super duper easily. Yes, you may have dementia. If I have dementia, Raj, that's the worst thing. That's the worst news for you, because I might forget UI design tutorials that I do here. I might forget those. So it's actually worse for you than it is for me, because I'm just always happy forgetting stuff. Anyways, no, I'm not happy forgetting stuff. Anyways, yes, you have dementia. Oh my god. Let's just should we do send gifts or to-do list? S or T? Just really quickly, you guys. S or T? Let me just download all of these images while we're doing that. S or T? Really quickly. Should we do send gifts or to-do lists? Send gifts. We'll do send gifts. So before we start with send gifts, basically what you need to know is you need to install a ton of images. I don't know what this image is for. Maybe it's an empty square, in which case it's a mistake. I might delete it. While we're doing that, oops. If we complete 300 subscribers on stream, I'll share my best my best ever what do you call it? UI UX designer cheat sheet as a beginner. 5 best fonts in the entire world, and also 3 best color palettes you're ever going to come across as a beginner. They already put away your worries as a UI designer. They take your worries so far away. They just make your life one very happy thing. And we're just going to download this. If we complete 300 subscribers on this stream, I'm going to share my beautiful UI UX designer cheat sheet. I actually don't know what the subscriber count is. If someone would be kind enough to tell me what number we're at, I would be so grateful to you. Alright, now we're going to get all of our images on this corner. Someone said, yes, you have dementia, and it's really starting to crack me up now. Alright. No idea how many subscribers we're at. See, I downloaded this a bunch of times, and I'm just going to be removing it for a really long time. So let's just, why am I not getting all of my images? Where are my images? 300. Are you serious? Ruth Pratap Singh, are you serious? I have to check now. I have to check. Hold on. Are you serious? Wow, we just completed 300 on stream today. Super awesome stuff, you guys. Thank you so much. And also I will at the end, if you guys stick around to the end of the stream. No, Rarsha, it's not 1 million. Thank you, Ruth Pratap Singh. It is 301. I just checked right now. Thank you so much. Alright, my point is, if you guys stick around to the end of the stream, I'm going to reveal whatever it is, and then I'm also going to reveal it as a PDF, which you can also find in the Discord group. So you might want to join the Discord group if that's the case. 302. Wow, that's amazing. If you guys stick around to the end of the stream, which is actually happening in like the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to share my absolute best UI UX designer beginner cheat sheet of all time. Just the stuff that we're doing. Maybe refresh the page, maybe subscribe, Raj, if it's still showing 299 for you. Maybe subscribe, maybe do that. Why are these images not downloading? Why are you not? How long does it take for Google Drive to scan things for viruses? No idea. Super duper boring, super duper irritating. This is the kind of stuff that gets on my nerves. Come on, download. Download it right now. Why is this? Why is this not? I'm just refreshing. All that I'm doing is just refreshing this back and forth. Nothing is happening at all. This is infuriating, truly infuriating. And a bunch of web developer images. I'm just going to delete these while we talk about, I don't know what. Let's just get rid of these images. Let's start a fundraiser for better PC. That's actually extremely true. I do need a better PC. This has been with me since the beginning of my UI design days and also development days. This has been the best friend ever, and it would be sad to say goodbye, but yes, I think you guys need to start a fundraiser now. I think that's very right now, very important. Refresh! Not refresh. What is going? You know what? I have a terrible. Why am I at the top? This is just, anything is happening now because my PC is proving itself to be incapable of downloading images. I'm just going to copy images from where I have them, and if you guys want these images, you can download them with a better PC from Google Drive, which you will find in the Discord group. So just go there, and I'm just going to get my really quickly. I'm going to get all of my images because it is pretty darn clear that my PC is not in the mood today. Again, this is my best UI ever for beginners in UI design. You might want to check that out if you haven't. Anyone? I don't know who I'm talking to either. Where did you go? SaaS. Here we are. Alright, these are images, and I'm just going to give up my whole I'm doing it with you vibe now because clearly we failed. Let's just get a couple of images. All of these funny weird images of logos are needed now. Again, I'm so sorry if you were expecting me to download these images and for the whole thing to work perfectly. I think it's pretty darn clear that's not happening anytime soon. Alright, so the very first line has Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts and Nike. We're just going to start with that. And again, these are just perfectly aligned accordingly. So we're just going to, and this is, you don't even have to work on a bento grid at this point. These are all cut up according to what you need to. Starbucks, Dunkin', and these are all just perfectly rotated as well, so no need to worry about it. And also Nike, perfectly centered, perfectly spaced apart. Let's just reduce the spacing and also reduce this right here. This works perfectly. And also, what was the next line? Sephora, Amazon and something else. Sephora, Amazon. I don't know half of these. I've never been to half of these ever. I just found a couple of cool logos and put them here to appear cool. I've never ever. Have any of you been to all of these places? Any of these places? I've been to very few. Of course, no one can go to Amazon, but anyways. Again, by the way, I just realized I didn't do this intentionally at all. Wouldn't it be fun if someone had this as their birthday? Wouldn't it be fun? Because this isn't my birthday. My birthday is coming up. Like I just built the most random date ever and just built a whole UI off of it with this blue, pink, red. Praveen says hi. Hello Praveen, welcome. Let's just group all of these together, shift them up by a couple of pixels. Hopefully that makes our job extremely easy. Raj, these are bad topics to be talked about. The jokes at this point are just insane. The jokes are killing me. Why? I'm not going to read the joke out, you guys. It's too much for me. You'll have to see the live chat replay if you're seeing this recorded, or if you're seeing this now, just check out the live chat if you guys want to read the joke, because it's a weird joke. Knowing me, I laugh at any weird joke in the whole world, and I have a really low point of when I start laughing, so it's just weird. This is a pretty logo, by the way. This is a pretty logo. All of these are pretty logos, so just picked out a bunch of these. Again, you're just going to open up all of these brackets and make sure this is very rotated so that it just sort of blends in. I'm still laughing because of the most recent comment. Do read it. It's a must read for you, all of you. It is going to give you a laugh, at least a laugh. Super duper close to getting this done, and as promised, we're also going to break down UI design from a beginner's point of view today. Again, this stream is actually quite long, but it's the most fun I've had in a really long time. So that might mean two things. Either this is a good stream, or it could also mean the fact that I don't have any fun other than this at all. So take that from you. Take from that what you think you should. Put a gift right here. Again, this is a very image based, weird bento rotated grids kind of thing, which is honestly I'm a fan of. Suspending gifts. I'm just going to copy this text because we all know my typing speed is faster than Flash, better than God. No, it's not. We're going to paste this in that style. Change the color, and the way you change the color is just get this yellow, make it darker, make it even darker. And also, if you guys have any questions related to UI design, do let me know. I love answering UI design questions because this is the one place I get to geek out at. I have honestly had over the years so many interactions with people about what I'm doing. People will ask me what I'm doing, and I'll just go super duper deep into the UI design, web development stuff, and before you know it, people are just staring at my face with an open face because I'm just geeking out all the time. So Sus is back. This is actually a GIF emoji which I by chance exported as an image. This is from the Iconify plugin. If you search for GIF, you will find this. I'm just going to show you that really quickly. Find more icons, maybe page 5. This is the icon that we're doing. This is the icon. This is the one. If you want to have more of these, everything you see says you're teaching and you're to stop it. I'm going to block you all because honestly irrelevant stuff is just way too difficult to tolerate beyond a point. Irrelevant stuff. I've honestly blocked a lot of people today, so just stop it. Alright, now the last section of this UI, and also the last section before we talk about how to break UI design down as a beginner, my secret cheat sheet at all. To-do lists. I you know what, if to-do lists, should I do Rudra Pratap Singh says, can you share the cheat sheet and color palettes? I will. Just let me do the to-do list section and we'll be done with this UI, and then we can just go to that section together. We'll go to it. It's a very fun interactive part. You'll have a lot of fun talking about it too, because it's super duper secret. Never shared it with anyone before today. I believe I discovered it. Quite proud of that. I believe I just figured it out on my own. Just one more section to go. Do you also teach making WordPress websites? No, I do not do WordPress. I do plain programming. We do. I have built a couple of sites in like plain development where we do like break stuff down and build out admin panels for the people who are using them, because that's one of the main advantages with WordPress. You can build your you get admin panels and stuff. We've simplified admin panels for people, so that hopefully fixes things. But no, I don't do WordPress. WordPress is very limiting, if I'm being honest. WordPress is extremely limiting. Like every single time I've opened up WordPress, I've only felt like the true limits of everything I could do have only been crushed. So I've never gone back to WordPress. I did try WordPress a couple of times, but every single time I hate WordPress even more. Every single time I try WordPress, I don't like it at all. I can build out websites where people have like their own custom admin panels, but no WordPress. Alright, WordPress is good for blogging. Programming a programmed website would be so much better in my opinion, especially if you're going for like a custom blog. Having your own programmed website would be so much better. WordPress is the most limiting thing ever. Like I hate it personally. It's maybe like when you see the power of a custom admin panel, which one we've built those out for a really long time over at DevFast. We've been building them for quite a while. You will see the true power of everything that can happen when you're building stuff out on your own, and nothing compares to that feeling. Nothing compares to the feeling of having a custom site. They are more expensive per se, but also they take a level of specialization that takes us years to master, and also the special feeling that you get on your own site. I think all of my clients from the past, from my web development only era, would tell you how much fun it is. Rudra Pratap Singh, I have to fix the DevFast site right now. It's not even the way I want it to be at this point anymore. It was a really old version, and then we haven't just gotten around to it yet. Current clients are always continuing, but of course that site has to have a couple of updates and just change the UI overall. It isn't even an advanced, like, it has a couple of flaws. I do know about that. Water plants, buy groceries. This is the state when you haven't checked on it, and this is when the task is done. This is when it is not completed. This is when you haven't told it what has happened yet. So 3 different states. Should again I have a question. Should I just type really weird stuff instead of just water plants, buy groceries? You guys, if you type yes, I'll just start typing a fun story which I have a lot of knowledge about. Just type yes in the chat and I'll type a fun story. How much does it cost to make a dynamic website with animations and stuff? Again, on the low end, it starts from like current prices, India, location and everything. It starts from 50,000 Indian rupees, and also like mid-range 80k, and then it just goes upwards from there. So that's the lower end of stuff. But again, the level of power that you feel, it starts from 50k, but the level of power that you feel is just a completely different feeling in the whole world. Like nothing compares to it. It's like having wings and being able to fly. It's the most fun thing ever. Add a stroke. Why does it add strokes in random places? Where did my stroke go? Let's just get this in front of the rectangle. And also, again the size will of course differentiate. If you have a really big complicated site, rates will go up. If you have a simple site, rates might lurk around those numbers which I've just said at, like 50k is the bare minimum, and then prices lurk around that point. But I think my reference is also tinted. My numbers are also tinted by the fact that I've been working for so long, and also like I also do like UI UX design, not just web development, which are two completely different things. So yes, I have a really weird I have a really weird experience trajectory per se, and so that does make my numbers on the higher end of the industry. Still, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Only if you're serious for stuff. It's not for everyone. I do get that. Steal. Let's not do buy groceries, because I'm just tired at this point. Steal a notebook. I'll tell you guys a real story which happened to me so many years ago. So steal a notebook. This isn't actually get a notebook stolen. In fact, get a notebook stolen from your desk. From your desk. Get a book stolen from your desk. Upload beginner Figma videos. These are beginner Figma videos. These are beginners from your desk. I'm just trying to make this as small as I possibly can. You know what? Let's just let it go. Get a notebook. Get a book. Get your book stolen. I'm just trying to get your book stolen. The first step to mastering everything on your to-do list is to get your notebook stolen. Let's just do notebook, because I'm just finicky at this point. Notebook stolen. Group this together, and this is now a component. We're just going to copy and paste it. You could create an actual component out of this. And now, what happened? Copy and paste this. Why is this text not working with us? What is going on? Let's just get this text inside of group 31, which it isn't inside of currently. Just drag it inside, and that should hopefully fix things for you. Copy and paste the whole thing. Why is this? Just enrages me beyond a point. Get your notebook stolen, and also find out. This happened to me really long time ago. Find out your best friend stole it. Let's shorten best friend to bestie. That's just common slang. Everything you see, I just answered your question. I just answered that question. You could just rewind it by a couple of minutes, and that should make things visible. Find out your bestie stole it, and then after my best friend stole it, find out they didn't inform you. They didn't even call you. They had my number, they didn't call me. Message you that they had taken their book. Yeah, they had taken your book. I don't know if this gets clearer. I don't know if this is a weird thing to put here, but I'm just bored of the whole Raj asks, why am I trauma dumping here? This is one of those stories which makes me laugh sometimes. So I'm just you will when you find out the way this story progresses, you'll like it. You'll actually like it. This is a fun stuff. This is I'm so tired of water plants. Do your laundry. Just keep me out of it. Keep me out of it. They didn't message you. They shared it with neighbor classmates. They shared it with neighbor classmates. I hope NCN classmates is clear enough for you all. I'm just neighbor friends. Friends should be smaller. I'm not giving up now. Friends. Super duper fun. I am trauma dumping literally, and I'm going to do it. Best thing to ever be done. Then I word pass. Well, I'm just going to shorten it to friends because this has a really weird meaning to it as well. Then you tell everyone at school. This is a really old story, really old story. Then you tell everyone at school, and where can I find button sizes in typography, scale and icon sizes for a particular screen which I need? We are going to talk about that just after this video for the cheat sheet. We're going to talk about that. Then you tell everyone at school, I'm just talking about me. Then you tell everyone at school and they apologize to you 100 times. And I don't think that was enough either. I still hold a grudge. And then you still tell everyone at school, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of the you. You still hold a grudge. Still hold a grudge. Still hold a grudge. No, I'm kidding. I don't hold a grudge anymore. I'm a really nice person now. Completely reformed. Completely reformed. And no more grudges. No more grudges. No more grudges anymore. Again, I'm just going to click on auto layout. Hopefully that's going to, oops, that just makes things more spaced out for me. And let's just centerline everything. Oops, why is this working like a crazy? I think I made it like more than I needed to make. See, this is exactly what is happening. We're going to get rid of 3 of these. Do I have to learn coding HTML, CSS, JavaScript because I read somewhere on a job portal for job requirement? UI UX designers work with Figma. Web developers, front-end developers work with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Next.js even. And then if you're both like me, then you do it all. Sometimes companies truly don't know what they're asking for. Sometimes companies truly don't know what they're asking for. So that happens too, if you're wondering. Sometimes companies truly have the wrong job description. They'll ask for a front end. I'm not criticizing anyone at this point. Just sometimes some companies on job portals will try to write like front end developer and just have 10 back end requirements. So that does happen in the tech industry quite often. And now you can just make it have a lot of space in the middle. Why? What is going on? Let's just go from what is going on? This is just, again, this is going to be my next trauma dump now. How much can a beginner earn? Depends on your skill. I will always say it, always depends on your skill level. Let's go with 25, hopefully. Whoa, this is so not it. This is so not. So weirdly not it. Hug contents, maybe. Is my chat visible? Please confirm me. Where can I find button? Manny, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it just after this one. So you can just add a couple of things here. Either maybe add a little bit of spacing. You could maybe just change the background color to red or change the color to black. And I'm going to leave this as a challenge for you guys. If you want to do it, to just customize this to-do list for everything at all. But this is get your notebook stolen. This is one of the fun stories from a really long time ago that I still remember. Crazy enough. Super duper long ago. Get your notebook stolen, find your bestie stole it, they didn't message you, they shared it with more friends, and then you tell everyone at school and still hold a grudge. I should write you here. I should write you here. I'm not going to let this go. Done. Can we hold a round of applause? Such a long build. We've been streaming for like 2 hours now. 2 hours, 2 whole hours, and finally done. Let's just close off everything else because I am so glad we are done. Not just because it was a long build, but also because the result is super duper rewarding, which is going to share this and also share this with you guys so you can also watch this and have a ton of fun. And also then we're going to get to the beginners UI design resources section. That's also going to be a fun one to unwrap. Check this out. This is the complete SaaS app UI we've built. The current thing in front of you is the splash screen. We also have the landing page and the dashboard, and of course the splash screen. Once you start, it just gives you this beautiful splash animation effect. And then when you start scrolling, this landing page is actually quite cool because it doesn't have any colors. It just has these really weird fonts. And also this is a sticky section which is quite advanced as a concept in Figma, but also is really easy to make. And also when you click on this button, super duper cool stuff, you just click on it and it gives you this ultimate, why is this not animating? Anyways, we'll animate it later. Ultimate, most amazing, beautiful productivity dashboard. We're just going to share this with all of you. Really quickly, a big clap for Figma users, and for you, thank you so much. I think there is just so much credit that goes out to each and every one of you while I'm accepting this big award of something, I'm pretty sure. But truly, it's just so much more fun building these things out with you guys. I think the animation should work. I'm just going to check it out one more time. If it doesn't, then we'll just leave it. Maybe something needs to be fixed. We'll get to it. We'll get to it for sure. No, I just figured that I just figured this out. Hold on. I just figured why this wasn't working. The curve does not have to be gentle, it has to be quick for some reason. Anyways, we've done the UI design, and now we're going to go to all of you guys. This is a really, do you also have to make these vector arts and illustrations, or do you get the out of the box in software? Which vector are you talking about? I'm just going to shorten the URL, shorten URL. Just share this with you guys really quickly. What are you talking about? So close to being done, you guys. Just and also, if you reached right now, this is the perfect time. We're breaking down UI design for a beginner with my secret ever cheat sheet. If you click on this link, you will basically be visible on this tab right here. So again, fun stuff, super duper cool stuff. And also just join in, you guys. It's going to be so much fun. I know there's a little bit of a couple of minutes of delay on the chat and on this video. While we wait on that, now I'm going to talk about my favorite topic ever. Should we do a FigJam board? I don't know. Let's do a Figma design file. Should we do a FigJam board? I don't know. This is now, we're talking about breaking down UX design, especially typography and color palettes for absolute beginners in UI design. If you don't know how to work with typography, if you don't know how to work with color palettes, the following typography and the following color palettes are going to change the way you think as a beginner in UI design, get you through your analysis paralysis, and just absolute magic happens. Manny, where can you do UI daily challenges? We do them live every day right here. 100 days of UI design challenge happening as we speak. This is day 27. Super cool stuff. Let's just close this off because I don't know how to work with it either. I'm just kidding. No need to have a FigJam board right now. Let's just talk about the absolute basics of UI design. And we've got a couple of people here. Let's just leave this list. Right. So, as a beginner in UI design, you're going to want to take a look at two different kinds of fonts. Number one, sans serif. Let's talk about sans serif fonts. These are inter, and also there are serif fonts. So I'm just going to sort of try to break this down as quickly as possible. There is also a PDF for this, and it's going to be out maybe today or tomorrow, depending on availability and scheduling, but the basic gist is the same. There are mainly two types of fonts, very basic stuff. Some fonts, if you notice really carefully, have these lines at the top and bottom, and everywhere you can possibly find. Some fonts do not have these lines. Some fonts are pretty much plain. These plain fonts are called sans serif, which means without serif, and these fonts are called serif because these weird lines poking out of everywhere are basically called serifs. So these are serif lines. Now we're getting to the typography and the color schemes as well. So basically, as a beginner in UI design, you will only ever need, don't get confused with the thousands of, if not millions of fonts that exist. The only sans serif fonts that, and here's the good thing, we're talking about 5 fonts now, and all of these fonts always work well with each other. So if you use one font from this group, one font from this group, you are golden. The next one we're talking about is Sand Creek. 5 total fonts, just 5 total fonts. Super cool stuff. I know typography is a doubt, which is why I wanted to clear this up, and OI. Hold on a minute, just give me a moment. This is super duper cool stuff, super duper important stuff, and it's just takes your UI game to a completely different level. These are fonts that no one would expect you as a beginner in UI design to use, but just because you know they work together, they are going to work well together. let's just check this out for a moment. Inter is the best. Inter and Outfit are the best fonts ever for UI design. The fun thing with Inter it is a thin font, but it also has italics, so you might want to use those. But the thing with Outfit is it is a medium sized font. I love it. I have never stopped using it since the day I discovered it, but it does not have italics, so that might be a drawback. But if you want italics, you can use Inter or Roboto. Let's just leave Roboto out of the conversation. It has its own headaches. Forget it, I said that. And there are 3 different fonts which are fancy. Basically, these are serif fonts. This is just a fancy font. In fact, this is also serif font. These are 3 fonts which you can use, one from this group, one from this group, and your UI design from typography side will be golden. These are 2 fonts that no one ever expects beginners in UI design to use, OI and Sand Creek. Both of these give awesome effects. The thing with OI is if you add a stroke to it, and these are just secrets I'm just spilling from my own guts. If you add a stroke to it, and if you just, maybe let's just change the background color for a little while. If you add a stroke to it, maybe the background is of another shade. This looks like the best thing you ever saw. Childhood, like children projects and ice cream shops and school related projects, best font you're ever going to come across in the whole world. So that is it on the typography front. We're going to get to the colors. We're going to get to all of your questions today. We have time for that. 300 subscriber special. So you can get one font from this group, one font from this group. No matter what UI design you're using, 90% of the time you will match the theme. 90% of the, this is a little bit old world kind of feel. Maybe you're building an old site. This is for the older generation, this is for the younger generation, this is for every generation there is. And also if you are using Playfair display, and the Playfair display font is super duper cool. But also something worth noting is that the Playfair display has an italic setting, and I'm just going to get to the italic setting really quickly. The Playfair display italic font has completely different font sizes. So if I type an ampersand here and if I type an ampersand here, it's just going to give you completely different. I think it might be the same, but my point is, let's just leave this out of the conversation. My point is, these are 2 completely different fun fonts which you can, this is Playfair display italic and this is just plain Playfair display, and both of these, just you could use Playfair display and Playfair display italic together and they work very well together as well. But as long as you use one font from this group, one font from this group, this is for the older generation, this is for the younger generation, but you can mix it up as well. We built a cupcake app from this, and we're going to build a cupcake app from this font really soon. So that's going to be a fun play on the technicalities of Sand Creek. But my point is, these are the best fonts you're ever going to come across as a beginner. Maybe screenshot these. I'll also share the PDF with you, which will include these as well. Now let's get to the color scheme. So this is typography. As a beginner in UI design, don't go outside of this until you feel you're ready. Don't experiment too much because it just wastes time in the beginning. You're just confused. These are just the perfect fonts, no confusion ever. Perfect fonts ever. Just choose one from this group, one from this group, and you're golden. Or you could choose one and then both of these, but that might be a little confusing. Just leave it. Colors. 3 color palettes which are just going to take your color game to a completely different level. We're going to get to the comments, you guys. We're going to get to the comments, and when I say, you can just type all of your comments really quickly, because otherwise I just miss a couple of them. Alright, so the first color palette that I want you to just take a look at, really important, is the primary color palette. This is the basic primary colors. So we all know the basic primary colors, and I'm not talking about the most brightest shade here. I'm talking about one of these shades which is around here somewhere. So red, blue, and here's the trick. If you choose red from exactly this place, go back and choose this exact same red without moving this cursor at all. Perfect way to make color palettes. Without moving this cursor, keep it at the same exact place. Go to blue, leave it, do not move this cursor, do not make that mistake at all. And then again, you're going to choose either red or blue, and then go to yellow. Do not move this cursor at all. Whichever place your cursor is placed at, whichever place your round cursor is placed at, if it could be here, it could be here, it could be here, whichever place it is placed at, these 3 colors will always work together as long as this cursor is at the same location. These are the 3 primary colors. They work perfectly together as long as they're at the same location, and I'm going to demonstrate that as well, because that opens up a world of doubts to me as well. So this, if you have a really dark shade like this, these are perfect color palettes, by the way. You take the dark shade of red, go to the exact same place of blue, and I'm just choosing a different blue now because we're just experimenting right now. Don't move this cursor, and as long as you don't move this cursor, you can just choose any blue and yellow you like. Choose a yellow. You know what? Choose the red and then go towards yellow. And then you're going to get a really weird and dusty color here. But these 3 colors let's just group them together. These are just fun, perfect color palettes. Perfect color palettes. This is a duller theme for older generations. This is for the younger childhood crowds and stuff. This is a perfect color palette. You don't need to go outside of it a lot for the most part. This is a perfect color palette, in fact the best one here in my opinion. So my point is, these will always work well together. Another thing which works on the same principle is, you also have your secondary colors, which are green, orange and purple, working on the exact same principle. So we're just going to demonstrate that as well really quickly. This is the first tip on making color palettes, and now we're going to get to the second one, because we have 3 different ones we're going to talk about today. Let's just get rid of this. And now let me just remove all of these colors, because let's just get rid of these colors. Alright, let's just add a white, plain. You know what, let's just add a plain white. Alright, now we're going to talk about secondary colors. Orange is a secondary color. Choose an orange, just choose it from any of these places. I've chosen this place. This looks nice, quite a light shade this time. And then choose the exact same shade of orange from right here. Go towards purple, choose any shade of purple you want. I think this looks quite cool. And again, get another shade of orange or purple. Get this from right here, and then change it to green. Get this to any shade of green that you find decent. Like, you can shift this around for a little while, but it's going to lead you to the same results. This is the perfect color palette. Boom. You don't have to go outside of this at all. And I'm going to demonstrate that this works no matter what shade you're choosing as well. You can just, you know what, let's just get rid of both of these, because that's just going to make things confusing. Let's just add another different shade of orange. Just choose a dark shade. This one works well, and don't move this cursor at all. Just go to your next rectangle. Where did my next rectangle go? Go to your next rectangle, choose your exact same shade of orange which you just used, and then go to any purple. It can be a different purple as well. This is a different purple, but it is a purple. Any purple you want, and then just go to the last one, and then choose any green you want. Just go to your previous purple or orange, and then choose any green you want, and then as long as you don't move this cursor around, these are secondary colors, and they're going to lead you to perfect looking color palettes, stuff that just works well together. Check this out. This is a perfect color palette, no color generator required. This is also a perfect color palette, no color generator required. Again, the ones on the top are more childlike, more fun. The ones at the bottom are both like for more mature sort of audiences, older crowds. Perfect way to make color palettes. The last one, this is the one you've been waiting for, is actually so much more fun, so much more special. This time we're going to be experimenting with a 4-color color palette. So that's also something to look at. Let's just do a 4-color color palette, and then that's going to be the third tip. 300 subscribers special. Thank you so much for everyone who came here, watched me live every single day. And I'm just going to basically take the same exact tip which we just took from the red section, red, blue and yellow, and then I'm just going to go to any green without moving this pointer at all. You can choose any shade of green you want, and then it will almost always, and it's just such a guaranteed concept. I just discovered this myself, so I'm so proud of myself for that. This just works perfectly well. Check this out. Boom. It just works. This is and the reason these 4 colors work, the reason we're doing a 4-color color palette, is because even though technically speaking green isn't a primary color, red, blue, green, yellow is a very common pattern seen in the world, and it just always works together. So you can't really make a mistake on this section. And now we're just going to duplicate our results from the topmost section. So we've taken this exact same color palette. You could take a different one if you like. We've taken this exact same color palette without changing a thing. Let's just add one more square, add it to the end, and we're just going to, without changing this value, we're going to choose a different shade of green. This is a different shade of green than this, and yet when we remove this from the screen, this looks like the perfect color palette in the whole world. Like you could just keep on experimenting with this for hours, but my basic gist is that these color palettes will always work together. You can start with any shade of red, blue, green, or red, blue, yellow, or these are primary colors technically, or any shade of secondary colors, orange, purple and green, or you could just go with the most common combination ever, red, blue, yellow and green. These are my top 3 color palettes in the whole world, and you can actually get really experimental with this. So now I'm going to make a color palette which you would not expect. So let's just get experimental for a while, just increasing on our point which we just stated earlier. Now we're just going to go to this is a little bit more advanced. Maybe you want to reserve this for after you are done with a couple of designs. Red is really close to pink. Again, this is very specific of a topic. So red is pretty close to pink, and you have to go in the same direction. If you add white to red, you get pink. So I'm just going to start adding white now. Adding white to red gets me pink. Adding blue to, you know what, let me just get this exact shade of pink. Adding white to this shade of blue gets me light blue. So I'm just going to go to light blue right here. This color, check this out. This color, this is just white added to this, and adding white to this gives me a really light shade of yellow. Not moving this cursor at all, which is going to go right here, choose this color, and then adding white to this gives me a really light shade of yellow. This should be somewhere around what we're working with, and then of course adding white to this might give me a light shade of green without moving this cursor at all, which is going to go to a green, get this color, and you just get this color right. And now I'm just going to hide all of these, because you also need to see this is just when you go in the same exact direction, adding white to the colors that we just used, you get this perfect childlike fun color palette. You don't need to go to any color palette generators, half of which actually don't work. I might make a video on it at some point. And so when you take these basic colors, add the same shade of black to them, you get this. If you take these exact same colors, add a little bit of white to them, you get this. All of these work perfectly together. Perfect color palettes, demystified right here, right now. And now we're going to get to, and of course you can do a lot of cool stuff with auto layouts as well. This is an honorable mention. You could like possibly equally space stuff with auto layout. I know I'm getting off topic here a little bit, but reading from the comments. And also buttons, making buttons with auto layouts is the best thing you're ever going to do. We do it in literally every single stream. So, and this is again a different color palette now, because it's basically pink, cyan, yellow and light green. So this is a different palette, but the concept theory remains same. Now if you guys have any questions related to UI UX design, you can leave them in the comments, because now I'm starting to read the comments actually and answering any questions that you might have. Valorant asks, do you have to make these vector arts in illustrations, or do you make these out of the box in software? I hope you're talking about these illustrations. These are actually from different illustration libraries that some I have purchased, some are actually free. So these are different illustration libraries that you can find on a ton of places online. I might make a video on that whole list at some point as well. You can just find them. I purchased a license to this, I believe, and then some are just free, so you might want to look at online. Like Pixabay illustrations and Splash illustrations are a very good free place to start if you're looking for those. Manny asks where I do daily UI UX challenges. I do them right here every single day, 100 days of UI design. This is day 27, and also we just completed 300 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us, and so that's why we're doing this special section of the stream. Ankush asks, how and why do we design UI effects without coding? UI effects are UI design in itself is the art of creating maps of websites. How will a very advanced website look? How will it work? To make these maps, whether it's a static map or it's a very dynamic map which uses animations and stuff, no matter what you're doing, फर्क नहीं पड़ता आप क्या कर रहे हो. I'm just trying to simplify this in Hindi. No matter what you're doing, you always have to code these UIs at the end of the day. So these are just like blueprints made from an architect. At some point, some builder has to make the blueprints that an architect has made. Otherwise, those blueprints get useless after a while. So yes, you have to code them exactly like the blueprints by an architect have to be made by actual builders, bricks and stones and cement. Manny says, please show us button sizes and typography scale reference particular screens. I might do a complete video on that, because that's just an extremely large topic, and if we just go off script here, it's just going to be extremely large as a topic. Subscribe, maybe click on the bell icon. You're going to get every single updates. We're going to definitely cover this really soon. Manny asks, can we do projects with you as a group project, with you as a team lead? Actually, you can join the Discord group. That's an extremely cool idea. We might plan something like that. We might plan something really soon. Maybe something related to this channel, maybe something related to something else. We could do a project as a group, and then if the couple of you do a really good job, you know what, I was thinking of doing this exact same thing as a part of the complete UI UX design course that comes out at some point during the last quarter of this UI design 100-day challenge. So when we do the course, we might do a project with me as a team lead. We'll do it in the course when the complete course launches, which happens like a couple of months from now, 1 or 2 months at most. Raj Shah says, is a coder a laborer? No, that's not true. The level of thinking, and I say this as a programmer as well, the level of thinking, you just come in here as a UI UX designer. I don't want to shame you, I'm both, so it's just not shameful or offensive in any way. You design this without any considerations. Let's say you're only a UI UX designer, not something to you specifically. You design this as a UI UX designer having no idea on how this is actually going to work, and believe me, it's so much harder than being a laborer. It is just so much more complicated when you start to break things down and you start to look at these UIs from a different programmer's perspective, and you start to think about which libraries, which programming languages, which technologies, which data sets, what part of what word, and what 1,000 watts will you use to make this come to real life. Getting this thing to stick is also a really difficult job. I've done it. So my point is, you as a UI designer have the free imagination to build whatever you want, to give the internet the wonderful gift of websites, just extremely amazing stuff which people haven't seen before, which is what we do at the 6 p.m. stream on this channel. Look at amazing sites. But I think taking those maps and breaking them down, since these maps are basically, I don't know that much about architecture, but my point is, most buildings are pretty much the same and have already been made, and the difference here is a programmer breaks down these ideas, these reinventions which haven't ever been made before, very imaginative. It's a much harder job, and it requires so much more brains than just being a random laborer. It is a job that deserves so much respect, and I say that not only as a programmer, but when I also see other very hardworking programmers and UI UX designers who are just bringing new stuff to the internet all the time. Rohan asks free resource for illustrations to use on a project. Unsplash.com illustrations tab, Pixabay illustrations, 2 best resources you're ever going to find. And also I think there are a couple of others. I might cover them really soon. I have a list somewhere. I might share them on a video, but 2 points only. Unsplash.com illustrations. Undraw. You know what? I might show you the 3 best platforms to get illustrations right now. Just give me a moment. The best ones I ever used. Undraw, Unsplash, all of these are free. You can use them for commercial purposes as well. I read all of the licenses. Pixabay. Give me a moment. Undraw went somewhere. What happened to Undraw? Anyways, you might want to search for a site called Undraw. There is undraw.co. Open source illustrations for any idea. You can just browse through these wonderful library for open source, completely free illustrations. Best part about Undraw is you can change the color of all of these illustrations depending on what you want, and even if you can't change the color of this guy's pants, once you download this as an SVG for your project, you can you have so much control. I am in love with the control that Undraw gives you. I'm just going to click on Ctrl+Shift+K, show you guys the real magic of SVGs. So I've downloaded this as an SVG, not a PNG or a JPEG. So even if I couldn't control the color of the guy's pants outside, I can just basically, I'm going to get this color palette out of here. I can go to any segment I want and change the color to any color I want. So you can just change Undraw illustrations to the color of your website and the colors that you're using for your project. Just get them from your main color palette, and that's just going to be the best thing you ever do with your illustrations. The best question ever. And also for Unsplash illustrations, you can go to the illustrations tab and search. Maybe if you're not wanting to spend money at first, let's just search for like cat illustrations, the most basic thing in the whole world, and make sure the license is set to free, and then you can basically find illustrations in the illustrations tab. Why is this not loading? I don't think something's probably wrong right now, but my point is, you can basically find all sorts of illustrations on Unsplash in the illustrations tab. Maybe filter it out to be just give you the free ones, but basically you can find a ton of cool illustrations here as well. Pixabay illustrations are the best place for illustrations ever. If you download SVGs, you could change the colors like I just did on Figma, but also the colors here are just also gorgeous magic. You could edit them in Canva if you're not very skilled at Figma and stuff. So just check these out, you guys. The level of details is just incredible. I could low-key end up using one of these for any of my real world projects. I do use them in my videos, the animated ones I make. So Undraw, Unsplash and Pixabay, best places, Rohan. I hope that answers your question. Hebin, I have my own UI UX design and web development, and also app and software development, that kind of agency at devfast.com. Of course, right now we're doing a lot of fun stuff updating the website, but hopefully it's going to be out soon as well. So yes, I have a lot of fun stuff there as well. Raj says it was just a joke. That's fine, Raj. It's also important to acknowledge some of our jobs. It's just that they're both equally important, if not skewed in some direction. I don't want it to be skewed. You can also check out the vectors if you want, by the way. Also I got a couple of more questions. Let's just answer them really quickly, and then we can be on our way. Rohan asks, free modern icons. One of the best free modern icons places you're ever going to find. Go right here, go to plugins and widgets, go to Iconify or search for Iconify as a plugin, and you can just return to your collections list, and you're basically going to get, let's just go to Iconify. Again, super useful as a beginner in UI design. You can get general icons which are not having colors. You can get emojis by different emoji providers. Read these licenses. Some of these licenses are free and open source. Some of these licenses are copyrighted, so you can't use them for any of your commercial projects or maybe even private projects. But also some of these licenses are MIT or Apache, which are actually really good and free to work with, open source and stuff. So you might want to read through the licenses. You can have map and flag icons here, programming related icons here, themed icons here, game, health, and what else, and you can have some archived icons here as well. These are SVG spinners and stuff. We might get into it someday. They are actually from the place, these are the places from which awards and all these sites get these line fill and SVG animations. So I just love this. You can incorporate them actually in your sites. So modern icons, best icons, even archived icons, modern and not modern icons, Iconify. You're never going to find a better place in the whole world. Lost Manny asks, are you using paid Figma? No, I'm using a completely free version of Figma. Raja asks, we can scale it too, that's the best part. Yes, absolutely. Let me just get to what Raj was talking about just a couple of moments ago. You can basically, as long as you click on your shift key, you can scale it to be bigger or smaller according to the size of your image. And the best thing about SVGs is, since they're made with vector graphics, mathematics basically, they will never pixelate. You can make them 1,000 times bigger and PNG images will start to show you pixels and pixelate. SVGs never ever pixelate. Rahul says, icons, best website, Iconify plugin in Figma, or you could use the Iconify site as well, but Iconify plugin uses the exact same database and it's just easier. Lost Manny asks, your content is really different from others. The way you teach is really good and different compared to others. Please help people in design always, as long as you do right now. Thank you so much. That is super duper wonderful of a comment to read. Arun asks, can you show, thank you so much firstly, Manny. This means the world to me. Thank you so much for 300 different subscribers. Cannot believe it happened so soon. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Arun asks, can you show how to manage documents so it is easy for developers? Documentation for developers is going to be one of the videos we're going to do on this channel, either in a live stream, either as a completely different video. You can join the Discord group, first pinned comment, and we will have a poll there about should we do it in a live stream, should we do it on a Discord group. Documentation for developers and also case study for UI UX designers. These are the two very documentation heavy processes which I want to go across. And also, even though I'm not a lawyer, I want to talk a little bit more about the terms of service, privacy policy, copyright, cookies, and also all the legal stuff that we as UI UX designers, web developers, web designers have to deal with. So legal stuff, I have a higher level knowledge of it, basic knowledge of it. Documentation for developers, case studies for UI UX designers, and also case studies if you're a beginner in development, making some cool ML model and wanting to show it on your portfolio. So documentation for developers, designers, legal stuff also. And also if you're a freelancer, we're also going to cover, this might be a 5-part series. If you're a freelancer, we might cover freelance contracts and contracts that you need to sign to protect yourself if you're in a one-on-one project with someone else. So that's just 5 basic documentation related stuff that creatives don't usually think about, and then it just stumped me a really long time ago. Lost Manny asks, flat icons are good for icons. Yes, absolutely. Flat icons, I have not checked it out yet. Maybe I've seen it at some point. I've heard of the name, I might have used it at some point, but I just never turned back after Iconify. And it is really important, you guys. These are actually made by real companies, so it's just really important to just go through whatever the license says at first. If it does not say like Apache or MIT, in fact you might want to go through Apache or MIT licenses. These are actually quite free to use, but if they don't say Apache, MIT, or copyright free, copyright CC, which is actually very free copyright, no copyright, sorry, CC free, so copyright free, you can basically go through those. Lost Manny asks, use of Google Sheets are compulsory for UI designers. Why would you use Google Sheets as for UI designers? I don't understand your question. Maybe rephrase it. Raj I could show you a portfolio that's extremely outdated, but it would be like, I don't think it's even up on the internet as of now. My whole programming UI design journey, a lot of it at least, is on the internet. The stuff I've built, and I'm not bragging at this point even, I've built out this whole site, the splash screen and everything. I've built out this whole UI design, and also I can build this out as a website if I want. I've just built this out today, so this is my latest portfolio. If I had a portfolio to update, this is my latest project that I've ever done. I might get into the case study aspect of the whole thing at some point, but this is my latest skill level. If you want to see my very first UI designs I ever did as a beginner, just to see where you're at, gauge a little bit of a level, the day 9 of the 100 days of UI design challenge, it's in the playlist of the description. You can just find it there. The day 9 of this whole challenge talks about my first ever websites and apps and stuff that I built, designed, developed. So you can just check it out if you want to see the before, and this is the after. I don't think any portfolio that I show you is going to be more updated than this, because it hasn't even been 24 hours since this has been made. Like, I completed it at like 5:30 and then had I built this out between the 7 and 8 p.m. streams. So this is the most recent thing you'll ever see from me. Can UI designers do UX design too? UI UX designers are almost so these are very similar fields, so most people do both. Yes, we do both on this channel and everywhere else. We'll get into UX designer mockups and stuff like that really soon as well. So this is all UI design heavy. A couple of things that I want to get into are UX design and a little bit of code, a little bit of front-end code also at some point. Again, this has been the design that we did today. Super cool stuff, super amazing to watch, and just so awesome. Splash screen, landing page, sticky section of a landing page, no colors, maybe terrible fonts, but we've just made it work so perfectly, no one would be able to believe us now. Perfect dashboard in the whole world. The most amazing UI design we've ever done. If you want all of these images, if you want all of the assets that we've used, you can join the Discord group, the first link in the description. I hope there aren't any more questions as of now, and if you have any more questions, just send them in the Discord group. If you want all of these images and all of the other images, because this is a 100 day of design challenge, you can find all of the other assets and images from day 1 on this 100 days of UI design assets channel and stuff like that. So just make sure to subscribe, make sure to join us. As soon as we reach 400 subscribers, which I'm pretty sure will happen really soon, as soon as we reach 400 subscribers, I'm going to do something special for the beginners in UI design again. So watch out for that. Thank you so much for everyone for joining me live. I will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. reviewing super cool websites on the internet, and also at 8 p.m. building something you have never thought was possible with UI design before. So I will see you tomorrow. Ayushman says, I like the font combinations used. Thank you so much. It was actually unconventional, but we made it work. So build it out, put it in your portfolio as a freelance project, one-man group project. This is the best thing ever. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're a freelancer, make sure to put this in your portfolio. I will never have a copyright plagiarism complaint with you ever. Just join me live every single day for 100 days UI design challenge. You will be a completely different developer. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, bye. If you have any questions, send them over at Discord. Until then, take care, and I will see you very